We're live! Hello, everyone! It is time for Word Warriors once more. I'm excited to go back into this game. Hi, how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Pete, you actually managed to peak our audio with that intro.
You got me in on such a high note.
Yeah, there was a lot of aggressive energy.
Vigor.
Jeremy's countdown, for those of you who couldn't hear it, was, I think, probably also peaking the audio.
It was not
was
because
coming in
I have a compressor on my
Oh,
thing.
that's true. Well, here we are now. It's Word Warriors. For anyone who doesn't know what this game is, this is our second time running this through. Last time we did it, it was a lot of fun. And basically, this is a game I made for the 200-word RPG challenge. Ended up making it to the finals. If you were following that, I did not win. And I kind of told you guys to expect that, but there's some really cool games in there, so I recommend checking out the whole challenge. I really liked the challenge on the whole, so check that out.
And was a finalist, though. Gotta give you credit where this game is a finalist.
It was a final one of the
true.
games that was chosen as being this game, so this game's pretty good. It has been a lot of fun, and we'll kind of walk you through the rules in a moment. But first, just how are you guys how are your energies at? Jeremy, yours is obviously immensely high. You feel better?
Well, you see, yes, I'm feeling a lot better. My throat doesn't feel like there's like 100 angry marmosets like scratching at it, so I'm feeling pretty good.
That's like my favorite state, to not have a throat in.
Yeah, interesting analog.
Well, it's weird because I think it's an appropriate analog because not only did it feel like they were scratching it, but they were also in there, and I was kind of like, but I'm not anymore.
Yeah, I'm starting to all of those marmosets that were in your throat seem to have started to move over to mine. As you are on the rise, my power is decreasing. I am starting to get sick, but
yeah, I mean it's the lower rent, I think, Pete. You got to charge more for your throat.
I'll look into that. Our throats
This
becoming
is getting weird.
Gentrification of
getting weird.
Okay, how are you doing, Maddie?
Hi. I in all honesty for you, Pete, though, I mean, with Pete and Pete time, you had a marathon session, and given everything that was going on, I think you did a great job. I have full confidence in you. And are you a game master, or what is your title for this game?
I'm the DM, which is the dictionary maestro.
Very good.
Maestro's the word. All right.
I have full confidence in you, and I have very good energy. I had a bowl of some shrimp scampi, and I'm working on some white grape generic beverage. So yeah, I'm bringing everything to bear.
Bringing the noise. I saw you pounding down on that shrimp scampi before we got in, and Crowley and I think Crowley and I both were thinking it looked very good.
Mushroom, spinach. Oh, it was a 2 for $5 pack. I went out shopping before this. And you don't even need sauce. You just get the butter and everything, and with the penne after you boil it. Oh,
I just want to say it, and maybe it's just me who feels, but doesn't it taste better when it's a deal?
Yes, it tastes like victory.
Not when it's cheap, but when it's a deal. Maybe that's just.
No, I'm with you. If it's less money than it should normally be, then for sure.
Way better.
Well, not if you're eating gold. If you're eating gold, you want that to be exactly as much as it costs.
I can't argue with that. And on the subject, Crowley, how you hanging in tonight? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm not eating any gold.
So you're saying you're not good?
Yeah, I'm not good enough.
Well, maybe you can find some gold in your adventure today, which is kind of worthless in the context of this world. But
golden letters aren't, though.
Oh, golden letters. That's true. So let's get into it. A brief reminder for anyone not familiar or who didn't see the rules of the game last time. I'll just run through them. A very brief synopsis of them quickly. Basically, this is a 2d6. Oh, I'm sorry, a 1d. 2d6 that's way too advanced. This is a 1d6 system where. Yeah, you guys gotta make sure you get your d6s ready. Where you create your character by opening a dictionary to a random page, and then you choose your name, and then your 3 kind of virtues, which are a noun, a verb, and an adjective, your 3 strengths, all from that random page that you open up in the dictionary. And we had some fun characters last time. Maddie, last time you were, as an example, was he was affliction, and he could be afeared, and he could affix, and he was affluent. Or he had affluence. That was his noun, which is an interesting one. So you get some wacky characters, and then basically anytime they're doing something in the world that would require any difficulty, if it uses one of their core attributes that they got in the dictionary earlier, they get to add 1 to their roll when they roll the d6, or if it's like right on exactly what you expect it to be, you'd roll a d6 and add +2. And that's really all there is to it. Also, you can spell more words by collecting letters as they go through, but I'm sure that'll become apparent. Let's get right into the character creation, you guys, because we're going to be starting a fresh round, which means you got to roll up some new Knights of Alphabetish. I guess roll up. What's the new word for rolling up a character in this?
Looking up a character?
Opening up a character?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Defining your character?
Defining is also very good.
Yeah.
That's stylish. Nanny, I know you went first last time. Jeremy or Crowley, when do you guys want to kick us off?
Well, I have back here. I've recently purchased my player's handbook here amongst my other Dungeons and Dragons products. It's the what edition is this? It's the new edition. I don't know what one that is, but it's the new one.
Oh, do I still have my PhD?
So we know that this is legit.
Jeremy, do you want to bring us in that case?
Sure. So I think the way we can do this, because like I can't just open up, because then it's like, well, I'm disproportionately ignoring A through like C and the ends, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip through it like so, and I'm gonna keep doing that. And chat, you can probably hear that. Tell me if that's obnoxious as hell in the audio.
It's pleasant for me.
Okay,
I'm
gonna
keep
this is fun.
ASMR. No.
Yeah. Because we're that ASMR channel we've always wanted to be. I'm going to keep doing that until chat, one of you tells me to stop, and wherever my thumb is becomes my page. So chat, here you go. All right, we're still waiting.
You guys
Someone's
got to
tell
go
me
through
in
that
chat.
delay.
Oh, right, it's like a 15-second. You're going to hear this for 15 seconds, boys. I hope you're okay with that. It's very relaxing. Just open up your ears and appreciate the dictionary.
Well, careful not to get a paper cut.
You've been told to stop.
Oh, I see it. I see it. All right. Oh, dear Lord. We're on the end of V and the beginning of W, boys.
That's very interesting.
Thank you, Avalon.
Starting with words. Well, technically, it would be one or the other, but I guess if you also have a smaller book, so maybe you have to do.
Well, okay.
Maybe you have to use both, because you got kind of a small page there.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how dense your words are. But yeah, I've never seen someone start out with words from 2 different letters.
I mean, this is the second time we've run the game, so it's valid. All right, so
well, I've also done this myself a bunch of times, and that never happened. Just play testing, you know.
Don't you have to do the jank way? Don't you also not own a dictionary?
No, I have a dictionary.
Oh, all right.
Okay. My name is Waddle.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And I am. What's this? This one is an adjective, right?
Yes, you need yourself an adjective, a verb, and a noun.
Do I have any adjectives here? I'm wacky.
You're what? You're
I'm
wacky?
wacky.
Okay.
Oh
boy.
Waddle's a little wacky.
I can waggle.
Waddle is also a duck.
Waddle can waggle?
Uh-huh.
I love it.
I can waggle. Well, I don't have duck, but I do have a vulture.
What a grim thing for Waddle to have.
And we're done with this book.
Yeah, that's the only role the dictionary plays is right at the beginning. So you're Waddle.
I'm wacky. I can waggle, and I have a vulture.
And you can waggle.
I like how cartoonish and silly you are right up until the end, where you have a terrifying carrion bird. Maybe they're wacky too. I don't know.
Maybe he's friendly.
I mean, it could be. That's up to you. But you do have a vulture. Which brings us to whoever would like to go next. So who would like to volunteer as tribute?
Crowley, go ahead. I'll shore things up. Since I went first last time, I'll go last.
All right, so I'm gonna roll. Since I don't have a dictionary, I'm gonna roll a d26 in Roll20, and I got a 7. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G. All right. So now I'm going to dictionary.com to the G's, and now I'm gonna see how many.
I'm gonna come with.
How many pages? G has 29 pages, so I'll have to roll a d29. That's not. Oh boy. All right. Roll d29. Page 10 of the G's.
Ooh.
Page 10. All right.
Oh man, I'm already seeing some great words on this page.
Oh boy. All right. What is gaza?
Do you have gaza?
It's a weird version of the word Gaza. Okay.
You got some cool words.
I don't know, man. I can wag.
Is ghost one of my ghost? Ghost is one of my words. Ghost car is also one of my words, but we can't do 2-word things.
Yeah, not the weird 2-word things. So you cannot be a ghost car, but you could have a ghost, or you could just be ghost.
I could just be ghost. What is gi? Oh, isn't that a?
I think that's the karate outfit.
Yeah, that's the karate outfit.
Would be good for convincing people that you do karate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Oh well, my name is Gibbous.
Gibbous is a great name.
Yeah, my name is Gibbous. Oh, that's Jed.
Like
yeah,
Gibbous?
Gibbus. I mean, is OUS on here? If OUS,
is it Gibbous like the moon, or no, I'm thinking of a gibbon. So yeah, it would be Gibbous like the moon.
All right, so I'll be that because there's 2 different Gibbuses on here. I'll be Gibbous like the moon. So my name is Gibbous. And now, all right. So I got a verb, an adjective, and a noun. What does Gibbous have? There's a lot of giant things.
Well, you could be giant.
I could be giant.
That's a very good
ghost.
One. You could have a ghost. You couldn't be a ghost.
That's true.
You could be ghastly. I think is on here as well.
Ooh, I could have a gift.
You could have a gift. I see that you also.
I work in the gig economy.
I was gonna say you could have a gig.
No, I think
a professional individual.
I am giant.
That's a good one.
Now
that's a word that you can use in a lot of situations.
Yeah,
giant personality.
I'm giant. No, I'm physically giant. What is this? No. All right, I think I probably have a ghost. I'm haunted. And verb. What can I do?
You can gift. Give people gifts.
I can give people gifts. I can. What is Guga? No, that's no. Not a lot of verbs on this page.
Like, getaway.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's not a verb, even though it sounds like it. I can get away.
Is give on this page? Nope. But gift is, right?
Oh. If gift's not on the page.
Cold Spark suggested you can ghost. And if you really want to play into that, just say, "Hey, I'll be right back, guys," before we start. And just
I like that. That's pretty fun. Switch your ghost to your verb.
Oh, my phone is ringing. That's annoying. Quiet phone. I will. Well, what's get up? That's an interjection. Gah. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna gift. I can gift. I'm good at gifting.
Yeah, there it is. You can gift. You have a ghost, and you. What was the other one? Oh, you're giant.
I'm giant.
And your name is Gibbous.
Yeah.
Damn. Well done.
There's Gibbous.
You made a good character.
It sounds like
OP.
the of Christmas passes we hear about. Big jolly guy. It is a ghost. Gives gifts.
Really, Crowley, I think you're really min-maxed
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
As we move last in initiative, I guess, here, as we would put it. Maddie, would you care to do your ceremonial opening of the page?
Yes, I have my 1991 dictionary that does not have internet in it.
A little out of date.
But I will get to roll a D1408.
Oh.
This is probably you'd never expected when you rolled a D1408 that you'd ever do that more than once. That would be a recurring dice roll. That would be important.
All right, so
734.
734.
Right in the middle. Maybe looking at maybe like a nice L or something like that.
Realize I should be thinking about what my character is.
That's
I'm buying
true.
you time. Okay, you are correct. It is an L.
Ooh, it's nice.
Very nice. All right. So 734 is it takes me from the word ling, L-I-N-G, to lip. Ling,
Ooh.
lip. So let's see. I have for keeping it PG-13, I'll leave that one out, even though it's cultural.
Oh dear.
Well, I don't know. It's it came up a couple times in on Friday. It was something that was affixed to his particular golem.
Yes. You're referring to the golden dwarf phallus.
Yes, there is. This is cultural, so we're learning. Everyone, come on, no snickering. Come on. This is class. A lingam is actually a stylized phallus worshipped as a symbol of the Hindu god Shiva.
Okay.
There we go. Ivlon, I see you back there. Ivlon, you stop snickering. All right.
Yeah, I definitely.
So I have lingerie, lingo, lingonberry. I can be a linguist.
Ooh.
I can.
Or I guess because that's a noun, so you'd have to have a linguist. So you'd have to have someone next to you that was like a linguist that'd be helping you out.
An adjective is lingulate, which is tongue-shaped. I did not know that word existed. So something could be lingulate. I'm kind of intrigued. I'd be playing some sort of Eldritch Abomination, I guess. Be like Day of the Tentacle or something.
Oh dear.
Let's see. Linen, lining, link.
Those are pretty good ones. You could have linens. You could link things.
This could be used in D&D time or other fantasy. There's a term called a link boy, a boy formerly hired to carry a torch to guide persons along dark streets. I kind of like that.
They're the ones that get murdered, though, right?
Probably.
Like,
I mean, it's a little kid on the street. You know, you're in Waterdeep, or I'm sorry, not in maybe in Waterdeep, but you know, if you're working under a certain emperor and there's a hand about that is doing things, and you know what? I think that would be a good name, Link Boy, like someone who carries light for other people. I like that as a name.
Lake Boy is a fun name. Just hey there, Lake Boy. It sounds like a nickname, even though it's just your name.
Ligboy. Is that
Linkaboy.
Oh,
So I am Lake Boy.
L-A-N-K. Oh, I thought you were saying L-A-K-E, like Lake Boy.
No,
Like a boy from the lake.
Okay,
Link Boy is also good.
L-I-N-K-B-O-Y. Gotcha. What else, Maddie? What are you?
Let's go for an adjective. You know what? The adjective, I like learning new words, and so I would like to be, I'd like to be lingulate. My adjective is lingulate, L-I-N-G-U-L-A-T-E, lingulate. I am tongue-shaped.
Mhm.
Okay. I look forward to seeing how you use this particular word. That's going to
Me
be a
too.
fun one.
Now I have
like
a
a
verb and a
weird-
noun.
Gumby man.
Oh, lionize as a verb. Lionize.
What does that do?
Makes people like lions, duh.
Well,
That was my instinct,
this is
I
me not looking at
assume
the
it's-
definition. This is trying to mentally flex here. Lionize, until I confirm this by reading the definition, is usually when you look up to someone, you admire them. You know how lions are proud kings of the jungle, etc. So when you lionize someone, you make them oh. But let's see what the dictionary says. To look upon or treat a person as a celebrity.
Oh, so you're good at you can give props.
And lastly, I need a noun.
You guys are gonna be great
And
at like
let's-
flattering people. You're gonna be giving gifts. You're gonna be lionizing.
I'm just gonna be wiggling. I'm sorry, waggling.
and yet
Doing
I'm the
some-
tongue.
Very, very literally.
Oh,
And what are we still looking for? A noun? Was it?
Yeah, I need a noun. I'll I'll leave lingerie off to the side here.
It's a pretty
Let's
good one.
give I mean, if you're comfortable, not that I'd abuse it, but if you're comfortable with it, I think I
It's
can.
up to you. If you want it, then it's yours.
Maddie, you did roll lingerie.
I did. You know
Up to
what?
you whether
I'm
you
going to
want-
lean into it. This is a role play challenge, and you trust me as an invited guest on your channel here. I will do
Indeed.
the best I can with what lingerie I have.
Excellent. Matt, your character is absolutely wild, and I'm so here for that. So we got everyone's characters. Now that we have them locked in, let's go through. If everyone could introduce their character, we're just going to go through and hear everything at once. Jeremy.
Are we introducing in character or are we just introducing?
I just would like to hear again what all of you are. Also, if you could change your names on Roll20 to your new names, because I'll never.
I could do that.
I'm way ahead of the game.
Oh, thank you.
Well, my name is Waddle. I'm wacky. I can waggle, and I have a vulture.
I love the juxtaposition of the vulture. Okay, so we
I
have
just got a vulture.
Waddle.
Waddle.
Excellent. Gibbous.
I'm Gibbous. I am a giant. I can gift, and I have a ghost.
I wonder what you'll be doing with that ghost. That's an interesting one too. And last but not least, perhaps the most wild of the three, we got Link Boy.
Yes, I am Link Boy. I am lingulate, or tongue-shaped. I lionize, and I have lingerie.
All right, we got three amazing characters here, so let us get right into it. And where we come in, you find yourselves standing in, well, not perhaps familiar to your characters, but familiar to you as players, a similar scene as you appear in the temple here within the kingdom of Alphabetia. And with a moment of shining light, all of a sudden the three of you come into existence. And as you kind of step out, and in no particular order, as we're kind of coming into this moment, would any of you like to just tell me what do you guys look like? What are these characters like? Because these are going to be quite some serious descriptions, I think, here.
Mm-hmm. I think stepping outward from the light, you see the camera kind of like starts pan down on the ground and begins to pan upwards. You see what look to be perfect white robes that kind of sprawl out all over the floor. They're obviously far too long, meant to drag behind me as I walk. But as the camera continues to pan upward, the white robes don't like get any more ornate, and as they're getting like up to like now the shoulder length, it's just still just boring white robes up until the top, where you see me. It's just Jeremy's head, but with more hair. And my eyes are kind of pointing in different directions, and I have a vulture on my shoulder.
Oh,
and I'm just
God.
kind of like, and then of course, I've just been stationary as the camera pans up, but then I just start waddling forward.
Very good. Very, very good. Gibbous, what do you look like?
That was easy.
Well, I think the camera then continues to pan up and to a 30-foot tall
Oh my God!
giant of a man wearing simple farmer's clothes, but his head is in the shape of a moon. Like, it's very round, and there's small craters, and also it's bleached
and it's
white.
also like kind of like a weird oblong with looks like a piece of it's been kind of taken out.
Mm-hmm, yep, exactly.
Waxing or waning, Gibbous?
Waxing. Which one's the one that's going away? Is it waning would be the one going away? So waxing. He's big. He doesn't have a crescent head, but he has a crescent missing from his head.
All right.
And he's got a ghost.
Is it just like when the way you said that? It sounds to me it's just like exactly just like your classic white sheet ghost that's just floating. By.
Yeah. And I've got a big bag over my shoulder.
Oh, says that ghost. As we pan the camera back down, please describe to me, Maddie, what Link Boy looks like.
So the camera pans back down. Beneath sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Can't even finish.
There's gonna be a lot of this.
The camera pans back down between Gibbus's legs, where a soft, warm, curvy figure unfurls and emerges into the world. Slightly glowing himself, but just at the tip, as we have a very healthy pink, a tongue-shaped entity that sort of like has little tongue tendrils for arms and two little tongues for legs as well. Unfurls and just manifesting into the world, wearing amazing lingerie, looks at everyone present, all the priests that have summoned us, and even my fellow word warriors here, and just, you all are magnificent. It's an honor to be between your legs, apparently. Oh, I might have something for you.
And as you say this, a voice comes to you from across the chamber, and just, "No, my lords, the honor is mine. Run on, be praised. New champions have appeared before us." And standing before you, you see a bishop here of the Temple of Run-On, which you seem to know, which is odd, as you're just now coming into this world. And this kind of chaplain walks up to you and says, "Knights of Alphabetia, thank you for coming to us now once again in our hour of need." And he kind of like, his eyes pass over first you, Waddle, and then up to you, looking a bit intimidated, Gibbous, and then maybe even just a touch put off as his eyes wander over you, Link Boy. And Link Boy, honestly, from what your description, and tell me if I'm kind of on the right page here, it seems like you almost look like what Patrick Star would look like if you just rendered him into reality.
Yes, I would.
Okay,
Patrick would be very lingulate, I imagine.
Yeah, Patrick Star is decidedly lingulate, I think.
Maybe a little thicker, but yes.
With two
And
Cs.
looks over you. Allow me to guide you 3 brave knights to the chamber of our king, that you might receive your quest.
What? Just a minute! Oh, no, my vulture's here. We're good. Let's go.
You seem decidedly very wacky, sir. All right.
Yeah, this is me a whack, my name's Waddle.
All right.
Please, the honor's all mine. I will lead the way here, and I'll make my tip glow, like I'm carrying a little lantern. I'll make my tip glow and sort of stand in front. All right, oh, sir, whenever you're ready. Oh, the honor is all mine.
The honor is mine. Such a and while he was a little bit put off, seeing you being just a very friendly and so magnanimous in your arrival here, seems a little bit more put at ease. And do please step carefully through the Hall of Heroes up here. You can see all of the previous knights of Alpha Bisha are so emblazoned, but unfortunately last time there was a little bit of an incident. So, especially, no offense to you, sir. What were your names, by the way? I was so rude as not to ask.
I just told you I'm Waddle.
Yes, Waddle, I did hear. But you are
I'm
looking...
Gerber.
Yes, you give us. Please do be
This
careful.
is for you. I hand him a small wrapped package.
He
Very
opens it.
delicately bring it down to him.
He takes it and he goes, a gift for me? And he pulls off the top, and you can see there's just a perfect clergy hat in it. Which, how did you know? This is exactly what I wanted. My old one was starting to get a little bit ragged. Thank you so much. And he puts the new hat upon his head.
You're welcome.
And he continues to step forward. And as you walk through, you can see various knights have passed. You see a couple that are knocked over, and there's a construction crew that's trying to set them back up.
Just ignore Link Boy completely.
Oh, yes, of course. How rude of me. I got so distracted.
Hey, if he's staring, I'm walking ahead. I mean, I got some goods. He can stare. That's fine. I'm showing off this season's latest fashions.
And that was very rude of me. I was so distracted by that wondrous gift that I forgot to ask your name, Sir Knight.
Oh, but you can call me Link Boy.
Link Boy. Well, it's wonderful
But
to meet you.
honestly, you could call me whatever you wish.
Link Boy will be fine, Sir Link Boy. And they continue on. As you see your own statues of yourself emblazoned, give us yours, it looks like yours just kind of goes up to the waist and then must continue outside of the castle, as these are all giant statues.
Yeah,
I mean, it
how
seems
am
they
I
made
fitting
yours
in here?
Proportional, barely. Your head kind of scrapes the ceiling. This is a very huge and grandiose hall. You did still, at your 30-foot stature, have to duck through the door.
Yeah.
But this is kind of made to accommodate strange beings that might come through. So it is very big. And as you come eventually into the chamber, grand double doors lead into what appears to be a throne room, where you can see the king and queen of Alpha Bisha kind of sitting upon their thrones. And as you enter, the king calls out, "Hail, new knights of Alpha Bisha!"
I imagine that Link Boy and Gibbous are already there, and I'm 50 feet behind because I only waddle. So I'm just
It's probably a normal stride. It's a relatively normal stride for Link Boy. Gibbous takes one step, and then they turn back and wait as you kind of another step.
Exactly.
Yes. And the kind of clergy speaks up. I present to you, my liege, Sir Link Boy, Sir Waddle, and Sir Gibbous. And he kind of gestures and steps aside. Yes, new heroes. I've been expecting you for some time. You see, we've run into more trouble. There's a quest that needs doing.
This is for you.
The guards kind of on either side of him immediately kind of snap to attention and begin kind of placing up spears on either side in front of the king as you go to move forward, and the king, kind of brushes them aside. The queen kind of looks up and goes, it's fine, it's fine. He is a knight of Alphabisha. I'm sure he means no harm. You've brought a gift for us. That has never quite happened before. That's very flattering. And the king kind of leans forward and takes the gift. What do you give them?
A new child.
What?
Wow, I'm all right with that.
Can you roll for your gift in that case?
Sure.
That's gonna be, you're gonna have to roll for a new child as a gift. You have +2. You're very good at this.
I am very good at this. 4?
+2?
Yep. No, 2 plus 2 is 4.
Oh, you see. Oh wait, I
So
was
it's
in
just
my.
like it doesn't.
You
It's
didn't
just a
actually.
puppy.
You didn't actually give me a number.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I forgot the core rule is I have to tell you what the DC is going to be. All right, the DC is 4. So now roll.
5 total.
Excellent. So you succeed. You hand them over a new child, and the king opens the box, and you begin to hear just kind of crying within, and
I knew you wanted one.
and the king kind of like blushes a little bit, and the queen looks over and just and they just kind of have a very tender moment here where they both look at each other, and the king kind of looks up sheepless. We've been trying for some time, but well, now we'll have an heir to the kingdom. And they kind of take the child, and he begins to kind of hold and rock it between his arms. And while we celebrate this joyous day, the birthday of our... What was their birthday?
That's today.
The birthday of our son and the new prince of Alphabisha. Allow me to send all of you upon your quest.
Also, it is biologically your child.
This seems impossible, but
The vulture
a knight
goes.
of Alphabisha. But you are a knight of Alphabisha. I suppose anything could be possible. But as for your quest, we need you to travel to the one-horse town.
Okay.
The one-horse town, it is south of here. You must take the River Cried. If you follow along the side of that up towards the Weeping Willow, you should be able to see it risen up on the hillside there. We, of course, will, as always, affix you with an alphabet. And therein, once you arrive, you could meet up with our chief leader, Miriam. She should be able to guide you further from there. But from our initial reports, we have not been receiving any trade or any individuals coming out of, well, One Horse in quite a while. So we need you to investigate what's going on there and make sure that One Horse is safe. Do you accept your quest?
Okay.
Wholeheartedly! Such brilliance and compassion from our king and queen and our newborn prince. Oh, and by the way, king, leopard spots, and queen, you'd look fantastic in a nice dark violet. I'll consult with you later.
And the king kind of looks over at you and again looks a touch sheepish, but yes, it would be good to perhaps have your counsel further on after the completion of your quest. We would appreciate that. Shakespeare! And appearing before you now, you can see what appears to be William Shakespeare that just appears with the word appear. Let's not bandy words. It's William Shakespeare. And he appears with the words appear kind of fizzling in the air before him as he does, and he goes, Zounds, gadzooks, forthwith, yes, you need me to provide alphabets for these individuals, yes? That would be appreciated. He goes, I brought them with me now. Last time there was some bother about my office. They tried to steal, those nights. Before, so I just brought it down with me here. Additionally, it seemed as if you were a bit unbridled with the use of your letters, so I have chosen to bestow an alphabet upon each of you. Here, take one. And he gives each of you an alphabet. So you all have one of each letter from A to Z.
Oh, you are generous and skilled. Oh, what did I do to deserve this? And by the way, the neck frills, I'll have to remember those.
This is for you, Shakespeare.
Thou, and he kind of takes it and opens it, and inside, he looks and he goes,
Oh, I know what's in.
"Oh, you have a thing? Oh, please."
Yeah. It's a signed copy of his greatest works.
Yes,
written
of
himself.
course. He looks at it and goes, "Sounds, this will make things so much easier for me when everything is already complete in this book. Thank you so much."
Everything you ever will write is in that book.
It looks pretty small.
And now if thou shalt be gone. And he snaps his fingers, and you find yourself thrown out from the castle, and once again, kind of flopping onto the city streets of Alphabetia, with a missive to go south to a town called One Horse, along the River Clyde.
Gibbons, I think we're gonna get along real good.
Yeah. This is for you.
A gift for me?
Yeah.
What do you give to Gibbous?
What does Gibbous give to him, you mean?
Wait, yes, what does Gibbous give to Waddle?
Waddle and shoes.
What are Waddle and
what I
shoes?
always wanted.
They look like duck feet. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Makes it easier to waddle.
I will empty the box onto the ground, hold the box up, my vulture will peck 2 holes in it, and I will put it on top of my head. It's a helmet! It's just what I always wanted!
All right, fine. This is for you, Link boy.
Oh, really? You
Such a
should.
good name.
I'll gracefully accept. Gibbous, you are looking full and bulbous. Thank you.
Thanks, I think. It's a giant version of. Have you ever seen one of those tongue brushes?
Oh, jeez. Oh dear.
You look like a back scratcher. Oh, this is just. I never know I needed one of these until you start using it. Oh, there.
All right! Let's go to the store and get some supplies for our journey!
All right, I can't fit.
All right!
I would love to go on your behalf, oh great Gibbous. Tell
Okay.
this humble companion of yours what you would love to have.
I've never considered what I want for a gift.
As Gibbous struggles
Are we having a
with
touching
existential-
element or something?
Actually, it's more almost like an existential crisis.
Oh! As Gibbous has an existential crisis, I'm gonna walk into the first building I see.
All right, you look around and decide on the first building that you see, which was the castle behind you. You
Hey,
can
I'm back!
you see the clergy goes, I'm sorry, is there something that we can do for you?
Yeah, I need your clothes!
You need my clothes, my priestly vestments?
All of them!
Oh, why?
Are you a knight of Alphabetia?
No, you are.
Give me your robes!
Make a persuade. This is, I think, a flat-out D6, and
What if my vulture caws at them intimidatingly?
Oh, okay. I think a vulture is
Yeah.
intimidating, having this vulture on your shoulder, so I'll give you a +1 for that.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. What's my DC?
Yes, you have to actually tell your DC. And I think getting this person to just give you their robes is in the middle. I'm going to say this is a DC 3. Because they like the Knights of Attribution.
4 + 1 for 5.
He goes, if you think you will need them on your quest, and he kind of begins just disrobing in just the lobby, the archway of the door into the kind of castle church.
Okay. I will take all of his robes in a bundle.
All right, and he's standing there just in now just like a shirt and kind of stockings and trousers and undershirt, and he kind of looks over here. You don't need these though, right?
No! Oh, I need your left boot.
Run on, be praised. Yes, my boot, I suppose. And he takes off the boot and hands it over to you.
Okay. I walk away.
I'll just go get more clothes then. Good luck on your quest. And he steps back into the room.
Gibbous, I got you a gift. I hold out a bundle of cloth and a boot.
Tiny people clothing and a boot.
I bet if you put them on your thumb, you can pretend it was another person.
That's a good idea. I sloppily shoved them into my thumb.
I feel like a 30-foot person might... A thumb... Do you think that's thumb's boot-sized?
Oh, well, the boot probably doesn't fit.
Yeah, the boot's
Yeah,
not
the
gonna
boot's
help.
just kind of awkwardly hanging off, but you've made... I mean, you have a bunch of clothes hanging off your thumb now.
Does it look like a person?
I don't know. What do you think, Link Boy? Is that good enough, you think?
You did a fantastic job of mimicry. I would not ask anyone else to decorate a thumb. And turns to Gibbous. Gibbous, I believe in your abilities. You are a gracious and expansive person. Oh, I know I've said that a million times, and I'll say it a million more. Your thumb, however, is not the most convincing for a person, but it is the best, whatever you want it to be other than a person, that you could hope to have. In fact, I would bet your beautiful ghost you could do wonderful things with someone else's clothes and a boot.
I'm sure everything you said was a great idea, but my hearing freaked out for almost all of it. But it sounds like we should disguise the ghost, and I'm on board with that.
Brilliant.
My headphones just freaked the...
The ghost says, "Ooh."
Here you go, ghost.
All right, you hand the you hand the clothes over to the ghost, and they fall through.
Oh.
Now, well, let's get going.
Okay. I'll just use these as, like, cloth. And a boot.
Yeah, you guys begin your trek southward.
I want to stop at the next building I see.
All right, it seems to be as you walk in the door, you see a figure dressed in a uniform standing behind it, and they say, "Welcome to the Alphabetia Post Office there, strange fella. What can we do for you?"
I'm here picking my mail.
All right, don't recognize you before. You pick it up for someone else, or is it your mail?
Yep.
Which one?
Jeff Lyon.
All right, roll a D20. If you get a crit, there's someone named Jeff Lyons.
Well, I feel like this is
You don't have that.
This is a
sorry, no, you
wacky
don't-
check.
Oh, you're right. This is a wacky check.
Oh, excellent.
I think that's fair. And you know what? This is decidedly wacky. To have there someone be named, what was it, Jeff?
Jeff Lyon.
If to have there happen to be someone named Jeff Lyon, I think is a DC 6, but you get your +2,
I rolled a 4 + 2,
which is a
6.
failure, unfortunately.
Okay, I gotta beat it, right. Okay.
Yeah. and he kind of like goes over and starts going through some. There's no one registered here under the name of Jeff Lyon. Now, hey, come back! I'm alert the. And it's already gone. It's silent on your ears. Is there?
Link boy, can you bring all of these packages into the mailman? They have to go out to people.
Delighted! It is my job to guide others where they need to go. And rest assured, I'll get us to the next city. But before we do that, I want to show off my strength to you. For your recognition, oh great Gibbous! And I will look fabulous doing it. And I would like to, have a little accentuation as I lift with my knees and not with my back. And I will saunter with armfuls of packages into the post office to drop them off.
I want to say to make a lingerie check just for your flair, just for your style and flair, but I don't even think you need to. I think this is a low enough DC that you always succeed. And as you bring these packages into the post office, you look great. You are absolutely working every single thing that you've got, Link Boy. And he comes in and
for such a lingulate individual,
Yes.
I'm very wibbly. I got the curves wherever I need them, and things. Look, I don't get the cheap stuff. It doesn't ride up. Everything stays where it needs to stay.
And
That's what's important.
Amen. And a lot of the people around town, they were initially, you can tell that people were initially, again, kind of put off by your, well, all of you, frankly, because one of you's got a vulture and is kind of strange. One of you's a giant, and one of you is lingulate. But a lot of folks, a lot of folks now, they seem to be looking at you and like, ooh, look at that tongue work.
See,
As you,
the confidence sells it.
Yeah, the confidence has sold your lingularity to this town, and you deliver the packages. The postman takes them without issue, including the one that I assume was gifted to him, which he takes out, and it was a letter that he started to cry as he looked at. Tears of joy. You don't know what it meant, but something.
I'll give him 2 tongue guns and make my way out.
Those were gifts for people that just really need a win right now.
What a good guy that Gibbous is.
Can I have gone into another house? This time I want to go in a house.
Smash cut to Waddle standing. There's just kind of like a man in an apron and like 2 children that are kind of playing around, and this person's looking over you. What are you doing in my house? Get out of here!
Give me all your silverware!
Make a vulture check, +1.
The vulture is flying threateningly. It's like hovering in the air, threatening to attack one of the kids. Damn it.
I forgot to tell your DC first.
Thank you.
DC 3.
I got a 5 +1 for my vulture.
All right, we don't want any trouble. And he starts taking silverware out of the container, out of the drawer.
Scoop it up in my arms and run outside. I got it, guys. Let's go.
All right.
And
I shove a package through their window as we pass by, and it's a whole new set of silverware.
it's like it's slightly. You got me on that one. It's just slightly nicer silverware. And you see Waddle making their like big getaway with this haul of silverware as they just kind of like awkwardly waddle down the street at like the highest speed they're capable of, I imagine. And do you guys start going south?
I want to make my tip glow like a little lantern. I want to guide them. I want to guide them out of town and towards our next location.
Very good. In that case, you guys begin working your way down south, and you follow a road there for a little bit of a ways before you come across the first kind of sign that he told you to. He told you to go after, which was a place he called the River Cried. That's the first sign of a river. and there's not a lot of people walking in here. This is actually kind of like you have to go a little bit off the beaten path. You know, you hear the sound of the babbling brook before you actually like see the river. So you have to walk through a little bit of woods to get there. But eventually you find your way over to this little river, and you begin kind of making your way along it. Told you just to follow this river, and then up the cliffside that it ends at is the town of One Horse, what you're looking for.
I throw presents into the water. They're entirely made of fish food.
You toss you toss a few kind of presents into the water, and you do notice as some fish kind of go up and they look at the presents, and the fish do seem decidedly kind of like lazy and almost like bummed out looking as they kind of go up and open the packages, and maybe they swim a little bit faster afterwards, but usually people are a lot more excited when they get your gifts, and these fish just seem like really bummed.
Oh.
So sad for being such magnificent creatures.
Maybe you
I heard a fantastic person once contract core blimey into one word, crimey. And in this case, well, crimey, a river. Oh.
That's a great point, Link Boy.
Core blind.
Fantastic job. You have to put more emphasis in it, though. Make me believe it.
Where do we need to go? What are we doing? Who am I? What is the world? Why is there sadness?
Whoa.
Waddle asks the big questions as you guys kind of meander along this river for some time. And it's not in particularly difficult to follow. There are, flora and fauna around here, and most things on the banks of the River Cried seem kind of like bummed out. But you're doing all right. And eventually you kind of come along the river a ways, and you see, in the distance, you start to hear the sound of the flowing river going up, like getting a little bit louder. It becomes like a wider river the further you get into it, and you hear the sound of like a heavy striking of, striking of water, like a big rushing. And up ahead of you can see what looks like a large sort of cliffside. There's a little bit of an open area. It gets a little bit rockier around here, and it looks like this river feeds into something of a waterfall. And at the top of it, there's this kind of massive willow tree that you see kind of crosses over the river, and it looks like the river is kind of like flowing through a couple of like curls in its bark, almost like the tree itself is kind of crying that river, presumably how it got its name. But you have a very steep cliffside, almost vertical. It's like two of you. It's like two of you, Gibbous.
Wow.
Well, I have an idea. Vulture, go fly up and tell me what's up there.
All right.
Brilliant.
Go ahead and make me a vulture check.
I rolled a 6.
This is a +2 to. I was going to give you a +2 to vulture too, because
I didn't wait for a DC. Go ahead. What's the DC?
Yeah, that is the rule. I was just going to give it to you.
I gotta do the rule.
This is a DC 2. You have a +2
You
to
son
vulture.
of a bitch! And I rolled a 2 + 2.
The vulture flies upwards. It is a trivial DC. You just have your vulture begin to scout out and kind of check out the surrounding area. As they get a vantage point, you can see the river continues to roll on away.
Oh, well, the vulture can see this. The vulture can't talk. It's a vulture.
Yes, of course. So I'm just describing things this is the camera angle. The vulture flies up. Yeah, and you see...
we don't know this.
Yeah, you, the audience, and the viewer watching the movie, that is this game, because this is so far cinematographic. Every single thing that has happened is big budget Hollywood, and the vulture flies
Couldn't
out.
have Gibbous without him.
And looks, yeah, you gotta have him. And looks over the scene, and in the distance, you can see the town and there appears to be a town with a large black tower that's kind of rising out of the back of it, out of what the rest of it looks pretty much like a pretty mundane-looking town. And that's in the distance. That's presumably your destination, One Horse.
As the camera cuts back to, like, Waddle's angle and he's looking up at the vulture, I hope he comes back someday!
And some time passes, and it doesn't seem like the vulture's coming back for a little bit.
Alright, now what?
Oh, great gibbous whose girth cannot be ignored, will you kindly lift us up on your shoulders and climb?
Alright. Yeah. I pick you both up, put you on my shoulders, and start
I
climbing.
can make it my way up the cliff anyway. Let me try first.
You try and waddle up the cliff?
You're gonna try to go up 60 feet?
Yeah, I got
Alright.
Can't fail.
Okay.
Alright. Stand in place and I wiggle a little bit. And then I'm gonna leap into the river and I'm gonna try to waggle like a salmon up the waterfall.
You know what? Plus, Plus
Wow.
1. Plus 1. DC 5. It's a generous 5. Okay.
I'm drowning, I can't swim!
Waddle, you jump into the river, and you're not drowning, but the second you hit the river, and some of that water starts to kind of splash on you, you just get really sad.
I'm really sad.
And you guys just see as Waddle goes into the river, getting ready to like waggle up the cliff, and they do a couple, and they go up a little bit of the waterfall, and then almost immediately they see their arms just kind of fall slack, and they get just super sad and start like floating down the river with like a sigh, as they're just kind of like, they just look bummed out. And
That
are just
was
letting the current take
almost impressive, Waddle.
This kind of feeling makes me want to sing. Sometimes when you're wacky, it can feel kind of tacky, and I feel so cold inside. Take it away, Link Boy.
I'm so moved. Your sadness has turned into excitement that causes tears. Oh, no, please, Waddle, come to the shore. I have something. We need to dry you off, get you warmed up. I have this wonderful silk black robe. It stops just below your bottom. It's wonderful. You'll wear it wonderfully. You'll feel
Your
like
cadence can use some work. Give us.
Yeah. Oh, are we singing?
I was trying to make it a musical number.
Oh.
All
Ghost.
right, I'll just swim over to the side.
The
Gone
ghost goes,
like my vulture.
oh,
dream of being
and it makes its moaning noise in a slightly more tonal sound.
That was pretty good, Ghost.
Thanks, Ghost. All right, let's climb up on. Give us the shoulder. Bring us up.
Okay.
Link Boy, I just want to let you know I appreciate you supporting me.
I will always support you. I could never doubt you, Waddle. You are pure and right for this world. And that robe is fantastic on you.
Well, I was at... All right, I'll keep it then. It was real wet from when I jumped in the river.
It'll dry quickly. It needs to air dry anyway. Make sure you always read the tags.
Reading tags is important.
And giant hands reach up and grab onto the cliffside. I imagine, like, the huge roots of this willow tree, which is, like, again, disproportionately large. It's, like, also, like, it's also bigger than you. And you're kind of reaching up and grabbing onto these things. Go ahead and make me a giant check. And being giant has lowered the DC of this climb significantly. I would say this is a DC 4 with a +2 from giant.
Is the DC easier, or is his bonus higher? Or
Sometimes both.
All right, it's just kind of, I'm trying to understand so that when I run this thing,
I got a
I
3.
picked the DC because, like, there's some things, for example, if you can waddle and the whole thing is that you want to waddle, then that's easier. And someone who couldn't waddle wouldn't just get that for free skis.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha.
I got a 3 total.
What did I say it was? I think I said it was 3, right?
4.
You said 4.
Oh, yeah, that's the natural one. You reach the top because it's pretty hard for you not to. But as you're getting up there, you also get a bunch of like splashes from this waterfall onto you. And when you reach the top, Gibbous, you're just really bummed out too.
Oh man. I'm really
Oh,
bummed
there
out.
now.
This poor tree, and I can't even give it a gift.
Yeah, most of your gifts flew down the river.
What? Oh no, my gifts!
And
Waddle, no!
your sadness deepens even greater.
Oh,
All right, fine. Your emotions are valid. Just follow me, and I will lead the way to the one horse town. Just concentrate and empower yourselves. Realize how beautiful you are as the people you are, and yes, just follow me, and I'll try and boop. The tip glows as bright as I can make it. I'll lead the way. Come on now, come on. And I want to try and just get them moving.
Absolutely.
We're
Actually,
just
why
gonna
don't you go
follow
ahead?
you. You don't have to roll to make us follow you, I don't think.
You don't
I
have to roll
don't
to make
know,
them
I'm feeling
follow them.
pretty
But I would like you. I think you're lionizing the hell out of these people right now. So I would like you to make me a lionize with a +2 to lionize to try and make them feel better about their whole situation. As you've been really pumping that out, I'd say this is a DC 4 with your +2.
4 with a +2. All right, let's roll it. I rolled a 1.
Oh, yeah, all of the praise that's being heaped upon you, it's not
I
it's
don't
not lessening
deserve
this
this
sad.
praise. Oh,
I'd say it's okay, but the world is a dark and cold and depressing place.
everything is awful.
I try to mask its sadness with humor.
I try to mask its sadness with gifts. But at the end of the day,
Elf! Have I been wrong this whole time? Is my confidence... Does it have a blemish? And I start looking down. Is blue even my color?
No, blue
and-
looks fine on you for real though.
And as the party comes to this
Sobbing bro fist.
as the party comes to this emotional kind of critical point, I think this is a great moment as you guys are now approaching One Horse to take our break for the night.
Oh right, we do those.
Yeah. Let's take a break. We'll be back, everyone, in just a few moments as we continue. See you all soon. Welcome back, everybody. Let's dive right back into Word Warriors here, where we left our 3 brave knights of Alphabetia. They had fallen into the depths of emotional despair and could now just see the wooden palisades of the relatively small and seemingly also not very sophisticated town of One Horse. The 3 of you now stand. The river kind of has curved out of the way, and the town seems to be here, presumably, just like many towns get started along rivers. But you guys are kind of walking up, and you can see the central gate to the town, which lays open. There are 2 kind of turrets on either side that would normally hold guards, but both of those are also those are empty and unmanned at the moment as you guys approach. And also you see the large black tower that is kind of erected and kind of arisen seemingly at the back of the town here.
I waddle up to the gates. There's no one here.
There does not appear to be anyone here.
I waddle in through the gates.
All right. You begin stepping into the town. Simple wooden homes with thatched roofs. A couple of streets. You can see what looks like a blacksmith shop. The fires are dead. The windows are dark in all of these places. You don't see really anyone walking about the streets currently.
Link Boy, what was our mission?
I don't. I'm sorry. My heart's in a bit of a spin. As much as I look at these buildings and the quality is superb, the architecture, I can't even get excited looking at erections like that. I'm just staring at the tower and sigh wistfully. My glow kind of fades.
Maddie, I'm sorry about that.
You're just wacky.
Link Boy, I'm real sorry. I do want to know, though, how are you able to say all those words by not moving and being perfectly still?
What?
No, you said all those words, but you didn't move at all. You were perfectly still.
Oh no!
Almost as if
happened.
you were frozen.
Freeze frame. That's what we call it in the modeling business. We just sort of put on a Vogue pose.
I mean, you're looking good. It's a good pose. I'll give it to you.
Well, thank you. I might be feeling a little bit better.
Well, I hope so.
My heart just throbs now, being surrounded by such beautiful compliments. And
I know it always makes me feel better. I want to walk off and see if I can find a bar.
All right. You begin working your way across the town, and you look around for what might be the nearest tavern/inn, and you find one without too much trouble.
No, I'm looking for a barn.
Oh, a barn.
Horses.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I know. Like what you expected me to say, but that's not what I said.
I thought you said bar.
No, there's an N at the end.
And in that case, as you're looking around, there does not appear to be a barn in any immediate view. The only sign of anything that could be resembling a horse is as you kind of are coming up on the middle of town. You can see a very grand statue of a horse that looks like it's been broken and split and knocked over to the side. It's a very big-looking horse, not like gibbous big, but
sizable.
Like maybe 2 of you, someone twice as big as you could ride it.
Dang, Gibbous, do you see any barns up there?
Oh, do I see any barns?
You don't see any barns, but with your kind of giant viewpoint, kind of looking down over the town, as you're much taller than every building here, there's nothing in this town that looks like you could fit into.
Yes.
You can see what looks like one individual that's walking kind of slowly towards the center of town here.
There's someone going toward the center of town.
No barns.
No barn.
All right. Guess this will have to do.
There's also, as you're kind of looking at it, there appears to there's some like drag marks on the ground, and underneath this statue, there is a very like large and deep, presumably recently dug hole. But while you're starting to look at that, you can also begin to hear a sound coming over from the side. You just hear a and
Right back.
Gillis runs away for a brief moment. In 3 bounds is like outside of the town.
No,
And
I'm alone again.
and shambling towards you now, it appears to be a zombie walking up.
Oh, is the zombie gonna attack me?
It's walking towards you. It's shambling right slow.
Link boy, protect me from the zombie. Use your torch.
I will flare my tip, and I will Waddle, help waggle my tip at this zombie.
I have another idea. You hold
Grab
him
me
off.
and waggle me ferociously. I know you have it in you.
I want to go over to the nearest building.
All right.
I want to go inside and close the door.
You go into a home. It's kind of pitch black inside of the home. You go over and you kind of shut the door as you see Waddle kind of run off. And
Waddle off. Thank you.
you see Waddle kind of waddle off. And you're like, Waddle has a plan, and the door closes. The zombie is getting ever closer. You are actually currently standing alone in the center of town, like boy.
Oh well.
Can I find
you
the second
are
floor?
a beautiful individual in your current state. Certainly, no one alive could match your everything you have going on. I could recommend some things to really help accent your.
As you're speaking these words, they're continuing to approach, arms out, reaching towards you. They're about 20 feet away right now. Your flattery seems to be falling on deaf ears.
Oh, all right. It's time to I'm like backing out towards the house. I'm like, you're a beautiful, strong individual. You are certainly not Waddle. This wasn't the plan.
Is
Waddle.
there a second floor?
And meanwhile, within the house, Waddle, it's completely pitch black in there. And you're kind of walking around into the house, and then right to your side, as you're kind of like looking around and trying to feel for some stairs, you just hear, and a hand reaches out towards you in the darkness.
Hey, can you just hold on a minute? I'm looking for something.
Roll wacky. This would be a decidedly wacky. DC. This is, I think, a low DC wacky. This is going to be a DC. This is going to be a DC 2 wacky, but you get a +1.
I rolled a natural 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
the zombie, which you've now identified, is kind of right there. And as you say, could you hold on a second? Some strange instinct takes over, and they kind of like, kind of wait for a second. As you look around for a torch and locate one.
Oh, I'm not looking for a torch.
Oh, what were you doing?
I was going to, if
you
there's
were
like a
looking for-
fireplace, I wanted to go over and see if I could find some flint.
But
But I guess now that I know there's a zombie there, I'm like, do you want to go outside? I got a friend out there. I want to open the door on Link Boy
All right.
with the zombie there.
The door opens and the zombie's there. You take this momentary pause. Maddie, your new freeze frame isn't as cool as your last freeze frame.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Sometimes you roll a 1 on a D6.
He's back. In this moment, the zombie's kind of like standing there confused while you cartoonishly ask it to wait, and then you open up the door and Link Boy's standing there, and the zombie goes and goes back to being a zombie.
But he's going after Link Boy, right?
But is going after Link Boy. Link Boy, there's a zombie coming at you.
Well, you know what? I am very good at leading people. It seems that the town has a lot of zombies here, and you know what? They're coming to me because they must see something. They must see something in me they want, or rather, they see me and they want me in them from their gnashing teeth. And so, what I will try and do to buy Waddle and Gibbous some time to explore, I want to try and Pied Piper my way through town, getting a bunch of zombies to follow my glowing tip as I kind of whoop 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 go through town and lead them out in order to make it safer.
What do you want to roll on this one, Link Boy? Which one of your words do you think this fits into?
Can I roll on my name?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as you're using your name to kind of, guide and light the way here, I'll even give you a +2 on your name for this, I think. Go ahead and make me a DC. This is going to be a fluctuating DC. This is just like how successful are you. You have one zombie on you. The number that you're able to pull will just be how well you roll.
Okay. And you say I have a plus what?
You have full +2.
Oh, 2? All right, here I go. I rolled a 1.
So, as you're kind of moving your way out, you have the zombie that you've already got following you, and you pick up a couple more. But Link Boy, they're kind of like coming at you from directions that you're not expecting, and you've guided 3 zombies, but you've guided 3 zombies to kind of surround you at this point, as they're all kind of maneuvering their way in.
Am I by a tree, a well?
You're by this broken horse
roof cottage.
You're by this broken horse statue that's very big in the center of town. You're back there. There's also a big pit there.
Okay. I will.
One says.
Maybe I can try and be a beacon. I will try to scramble up the horse and be atop the broken house.
All right. You kind of go and climb. Do you have an ability that you say would be relevant to this?
I don't think I have an ability through my adjective, my verb, because the statue is a statue. It's not gonna, it's not gonna bow down
so
or
just,
like let me up.
It's not super hard.
The only thing that could possibly come in handy, I should probably try and save for later. So I'll worry about that.
Okay, yeah. Don't forget, all of you still have full alphabets. None of you have used a single one of those yet. But yeah, okay, so go ahead in that case, just make me this is just a DC 2 climb. It's not super big, but it's not trivial, because it's kind of an awkward and, like, metallic shape.
Alright, let's see what we get. I rolled a 2.
Oh no! You're kind of trying to climb up, but the brass statue, it's not quite able to kind of support you, and you slide down on your kind of tongue-like body as it essentially your whole form licks this statue, and the zombies have begun to swarm around you. You are now in danger of starting to be seriously harmed as these things are coming after you. What is Gibbous doing, and also what is Waddle up to? But Gibbous, you've been kind of away. You took a couple steps out of town for a moment.
Yeah, I had to clean up a broken gift. Alright, I come back to town. What's going on?
As you kind of take the 3 steps to get back into town, you can see that Waddle, you can see that Link Boy is beset by zombies over by this kind of statue here in the center of town as your giant feet kind of crash down, and he's over, he's just over currently being zombified or attempted to be zombied.
Okay, I'll go over and pick up Link Boy.
All right, it's trivial as a giant, but basically, as an individual who is giant, I'm saying this is trivial, but by doing that, you have now gained the ire of these zombies.
Alright.
You have to get close in order to do that.
Yep.
All right, so you pick up Link Boy and bring him up. Where you put him, like under your shoulder?
Yeah.
Like, well, you find yourself suddenly hoisted into the air, rescued by these zombies suddenly. But also, as you do that, some of the zombies start to kind of climb up onto your hand, Gibbous, and kind of like latch on. And their grips, while they move fairly slow, their grips are pretty tight. And you start to feel them kind of clasping onto you, despite their small size. What is Link Boy doing? I'm sorry, I meant to say Waddle. What is Waddle doing?
Oh, okay.
Oh, Waddle went over to the fireplace, found some flint, and started a fire, and is just kind of sitting on a chair, enjoying the fire.
All right, while you're...
Oh, this fire's real nice!
While you're doing that, Waddle, you kind of hear like a sound over to your side, a meow, meow.
Kind of look over.
There's kind of a black cat that is kind of walking up to you over there. It's got just kind of like white on its feet, little white booties in its fur, and it walks over and begins to kind of like paw at you a little bit. Meow.
What's your name, friend?
It kind of thinks for a little time, and then it actually starts to claw in the dirt of the kind of cottage that you're in. This is a very poor town. The cottage floors are dirt. And it writes its name on the ground, Webster.
Right! I was supposed to meet you! I knew this was the right thing to do!
And the cat kind of like paws at you and kind of like makes a gesture like, hey, follow me.
How about you just bring Miriam here?
And it makes the follow me gesture again.
All right, I guess. I'll just throw off the blanket that I had on, and because I found a blanket. And of course, the blanket lands like half in the fire, half just in the cottage.
Oh no.
And then I'm going to walk away and follow the cat.
All right. Rolling odds and evens.
Can I roll a wacky check to start a fire?
Oh. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what I meant. Okay. What do I
Yeah,
need to...
roll me a +2. I was just going to have it be a 50-50, but roll me a +2 wacky DC. I don't know. What's your... Do you want to do it? So if you...
Yeah.
So it's just boring if you fail. That's interesting. All right.
Okay,
So yeah, roll a DC for wacky to see if things how things pan.
I rolled 2.
You just kind of haphazardly throw
the dirt
this.
floors.
Yeah, you just haphazardly throw this cloth like, whoops, who knows what's going to happen here? And it almost immediately just goes out on the dirt floor, but you've already left. You don't see it.
Dang.
And in the center of town,
Austin always cheers me up, but I guess not today.
Gibbous, you got zombies crawling all up on your hand. From the your shoulder point of view, Link Boy, you can see these zombies. They look like they're getting ready to bite Gibbous. He's now the one in a precarious situation.
I will. Well, actually, you see what you can do first.
Not good odds.
One moment as Link Boy apparently is frozen in a moment of indecision once more.
Link Boy considers dramatically. The internal monologue of Link Boy rages as he looks off into the distance.
The middle distance, I hear, has the answers to all of life's questions.
Oh, the middle distance is a great name of a territory for the Kingdom of Alphavicia.
Shit, it really is, huh? Or
Yeah.
the lens of D&D time, or just like any.
That's also true.
Okay, I should hopefully be.
He returns!
I return, and I'm still with the living and not the undead. Well, I am amongst the undead.
For now.
Let's see. Well, let's. There's a broken horse.
You can
we
see
we still need to investigate.
well, also you have you just have right in front of you currently. Gibbous has got a bunch of zombies clawed onto his hand that are trying to get him as a more immediate problem that you're dealing with.
Okay. If they're distracted and climbing on him, I want to I want to kind of like slide down, and the zombies have shown like they've been creeping up on us, but they're showing hostility.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. What I'd like to do is sort of like slide down, and I really just want to lick one. And just...
All right. Go ahead and in so doing, is this kind of you like pushing them off, or like what is the intended end? Are you trying to gross them out? What's your intended end goal?
I want to give them a good licking.
Ah.
Yeah, and I want to combat them using that form, that tongue reference at least. So
I think that's worth a +1 for sure.
All right, and so to lick the zombies.
Yeah, and there's 3 of them climbing on. I guess you could. I'll say this to you. You can choose a DC 3, 4, or 5 to get 1, 2, or all of the 3 zombies currently climbing up.
This is a gambit.
And I have a +1 to this.
And you have a +1. What would you like to do?
Well, you know what? I do like to lionize, and I have full faith that my strong gibbous here can weather the storm, as I look absolutely beautiful in my lingerie as I'm over here just putting a licking on the zombie. So I'm gonna go for a hopefully more guaranteed 1 at a time.
All right,
So,
you go after 1.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll the lick.
And that's a 3, you said?
That's a DC 3. Yep.
All right.
So you need a 3 or higher.
I rolled a 2, so my
Oh,
+1 is
man,
a 3.
you've had such consistent bad luck. Not just like last time too. You were getting a lot of bad lucky rolls. All right, you go to kind of lick at one of these zombies, and Gibbous isn't the kind of the moment you slide down the arm, and Gibbous is currently kind of moving the arm around. I imagine Gibbous doesn't move super fast, even like it's just fast compared to smaller things, but and as you're kind of sliding down the arm, the zombie kind of reaches up and claws at you and gets you with 1 swipe. Link Boy, you are now, as is the official and this is kind of how we've been doing HP, and I think it's how we're going to continue to do it, is you've been clawed. You have 1 negative adjective essentially ascribed to you as you've been wounded by this zombie. You got clawed by him.
Oh, okay, so my adjective is no longer applicable in abilities?
No, you still have your adjective. I'm just saying, like, this is how I'm saying that you've taken damage, is that you have the negative adjective, I guess, clawed, that maybe I'll use it against you at some point. I don't know what this means, but just like previously people were bruised and battered, you've been clawed. And in that case, Link Boy's trying to put up the good fight, but Gibbous, you got 3 of them on you.
Okay. I will use a word.
Oh.
I will fasten iron to my skin.
So are you making like a makeshift armor for yourself with iron?
I'm making my skin iron.
Oh, you're just becoming, you are iron.
Yeah, I'm like, what's his name? Colossus.
Oh, excellent. So go ahead and roll me, +2 iron, because obviously you're extremely good at it, and these zombies will just be unable to kind of get at you and do any more damage to you in this instance. And that's
6.
a DC. Oh.
Nope. Yep. All right, go ahead.
That is going to be a DC. It's going to get all of them, but this is also pretty good for it. So this is going to be just a DC 3 iron. You just got to not roll a 1 on this one.
8.
Yeah. Okay.
Total.
So yeah, all of a sudden you see as this colossus figure of Gibbous just becomes solid iron, and the zombies are trying to harmlessly, and they just are, and as they kind of become iron, they just all kind of like slide off over the side because there's not really any flesh for them to grip into anymore. And you are, for the moment, safe. You guys see Waddle kind of waddling across the center of the kind of area now as these zombies crash onto the ground. As these zombies hit the ground, you see just from their bodies, golden letters seem to pop out. You see an R pop out of one, and then an E out of the next, and then an A out of the next.
R-E-A.
I know what it's for. It's for reanimate. We gotta kill all the zombies. Wait, I'm sorry, I spoiled that one.
That's a
Well,
verb.
looks directly at the camera. I'm very sorry, but I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Plunderloot, subscribing for 21 months, whatever that means.
What a wacky thing to say. Mr. Plunderloot, thank you very much.
Anyway, give us Link Boy, stop playing with the zombies. I found a cat.
Okay.
And there's a cat that seems to be currently leading, and the cat looks like very frustrated, presumably, with Waddle at this point, and they're running off across town to one building that looks like a little bit...
waddling very slowly.
Everyone else running, perhaps. Or the cat is at least running across town. As they're moving towards a building that looks maybe at least a touch nicer than most of the other buildings here in One Horse. Yeah, they run up and kind of run into this building. Definitely way too big, way too small for you, Gibbous.
Okay. Here you go, Link Boy. I put Link Boy down in front of the building.
Link Boy, you can hear the sound of a lot of zombies seemingly coming from inside of this building. Those are some sample zombie noises. And Waddle, as you arrive a few moments later, your Waddle complete, you also can hear the sounds of a lot of zombies coming from inside this building. The cat kind of like tries to push you guys in, just laying a cat paw gently on your legs, as if to say, "Go in, please."
I have an idea. If we
What's
wait
your
until
idea? Your
nighttime,
beautiful, magnificent, horrible idea.
if we wait until nighttime, all the zombies will fall asleep. Then we can go inside.
It's currently night. It has become dark.
Never mind. Guess I have to just go in. I open
Waddle,
the door.
don't worry.
Wait, here's
There
a gift.
was an idea. It just wasn't a good one. But not everyone can have good ones. And we need people like you who can have beautiful bad ideas as well.
I just opened the door.
Here's a gift.
And as you come into the space, it appears to be a very poorly stocked library that you're walking into. And you can hear, as you move in the corner, kind of climbed up on top of a bookshelf, you can see a woman in glasses that is currently like throwing books down at like 8 zombies that are trying to climb up this bookshelf to get in.
Hey zombies, we brought you a gift. It's from Gibbous.
Oh,
Or rather,
no, they're not gonna.
7
I'm
zombies.
not gonna like that gift.
Wait, what's in this? Wait, is this one for me?
Yeah, it's a flashlight. Oh, I
Wow.
ruined the gift. I ruined the surprise.
What do you guys all do? As you kind of come into the space, I mean, the one that's kind of throwing books on top of the bookshelf and like battering these zombies away goes, "Oh, thank God you're here! Please help!"
Don't worry, I got it. I would like to take all the silverware I stole earlier and throw it on the ground.
Caltrops?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's it. That's
That's what you intended.
Yeah.
Plus 1 wacky DC 3.
Now, to let you in on it, I actually didn't have that in mind. I was just going to throw them on the ground. But, all right, I got a 2, so I fail.
You fail. You dump a
Oh,
bunch
sorry,
of
2 plus I only got 1, right, for wacky?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 3.
You dump a bunch of silverware on the ground. It
This is what I
spreads
thought
out.
I was doing.
It spreads out throughout the space. They are functioning as caltrops. They did not get under the feet of the zombies. That you've created a barrier between you and they.
I've done all I can do.
Oh Jesus! She's gonna. The zombies are getting closer towards attacking and essentially getting near you.
Gibbous, Link Boy, what do we do?
I have an idea. I ripped the roof off the house.
Roll. This is one, like I said, one of the better constructed buildings. Roll giant +1 DC 4.
All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, 3.
3. The house kind of like, as you kind of go in to rip the roof off, you see the house starts to like shake and rattle a bunch, and it comes out a bit from the foundation. But unlike most of the other house here, it does have a foundation, and so while it rumbles, the interior of the building kind of shakes. The bookshelf that this woman is climbing on falls over onto the zombies, which all kind of, and she kind of rolls off. She's now on kind of ground level where all the zombies are. She's kind of lost her cover as things are becoming more and more dire.
Did it work?
No!
It seems to have made things worse once more. You guys are getting closer towards making this worse in a way that's going to be very bad. Or at least not, maybe not bad for you, bad for her.
Link Boy, do you have any plans? Any ideas?
What's your move, Link Boy? Don't forget, you guys still got all your letters except for...
Yeah, I'm going through
I
words
need
in
you
my
to-
head as you've been saying these words. Trying to think about the ones I can put together.
Link Boy, dance with me.
Dance with you?
And I'm gonna begin to like waggle around in a hypnotic way, and I'm gonna try and put the zombies into a trance.
Oh, shit.
Can
Use my
can my
letter.
tongue-like lingulate body go along with the waggling and assist in the trance?
Not
This
according
is-
to the rules of this game, but the answer is absolutely yes, it can.
Okay.
Roll me a DC 4 trance. You got your +2 because this is. I mean, this is you want to put them
Do
into
I
a
have
trance.
advantage because Maddie's helping? Or do we just both get to roll?
And you get an extra +1. I'm giving you an extra +1 on top for Maddie's help.
Not a 1?
Oh no! You
Wait,
begin
wait.
dancing and trying to put these zombies into a trance, but it seems whatever magic is animating them is, well, I mean, it's animating them better than your trance was going to kind of hypnotize and enchant them. And while the light dancing for a brief moment, a couple of them seem like they're going to break off. They begin to pounce upon Miriam.
Oh no!
She is now bruised.
I would like
or
to use some letters.
swarmed is maybe her word. What would you like to create?
I'm gonna apply this to my eyes.
So you can just see within the...
Yep.
Alright, you can see within the building.
Use your words because the chat can't see these.
Oh yeah, I apply
yes.
X-ray to
Apologies.
my eyes, so I can see through the building.
Alright, you can see what's happening.
Okay. Oh wait, I don't have an R.
You just used it!
No,
oh
I
wait,
used
no,
it
you
on
didn't have
iron.
it from iron.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
Well,
guess that's.
I'll buy you some time while you think about it. I'm gonna throw the cat in.
Oh, rude.
I'm hoping the cat can fight off the zombies.
Make a
I-
DC 3 grapple?
I rolled a 3.
The cat does not seem to want to
Is
get
this
thrown
wacky
in.
at all?
No. That's mean, Jeremy, is what that is. The cat seems to be a regular cat that's just kind of smart and doesn't want to get thrown into a pile of zombies, even though it's very sad that its owner is about to go down.
Suit yourself! I leap in.
To the
I
fray?
have a plan.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Alright, what's your plan, Link Boy?
All right, my tip is going to raise up and glow as brightly as possible with the holy light of my being summoned into this world as a knight of Alphabetia, and I'm going to look at this swarm of zombies, and in a dramatic, even passionate, and very good-looking pose, by the way, that accents the curve wonderfully. I am going to issue one word to all the zombies.
Oh, you're going to turn!
Turn!
And as you kind of call out this turn, I mean, this is a +2 because it's turning zombies. And the only thing here is an execution. I need you to not roll me a 1, Maddie.
Look, I think we kind of... Let's see. Hey, that's a 6.
Hey! And with that, as all of a sudden all the zombies kind of... and they all kind of like the holy light of Link Boy's tip. That's what Maddie's been calling it. And
Just the tip.
just the tip. And the zombies all turn and begin kind of running out. And as they turn away, kind of terrified at this time, you can see they begin kind of filing out of the library, dropping letters as they go, as you finish collecting the golden letters in Reanimated.
Oh, I was right. Cool.
Yep, you were right.
Hey, we killed them all. Sweet. I don't remember what these golden letters.
They're like the regular letters, except they're permanent.
We can do that. I forget. All right, great. Quick question: will anyone trade me a G and an E?
What do you need them for?
I want to wiggle and waggle.
I'm gonna go over
an unworthy cause.
This trade's going.
They told me a...
Also, keep in mind that lasts for 1 round.
Maybe we can talk about it later.
Unless it's gold.
In that case, I think I'm gonna claim the A and one of those E. I'm just kidding.
And Miriam begins kind of walking over and dusting herself off, catching her breath. I thought I was gone there for a moment. It seemed like you were just going to give up on me and throw my cat in to die alongside of me. And Webster kind of walks over and kind of like curls up around her feet. But she goes,
It was an elaborate ruse!
It seems so. It seems that you, of course, you brave knights of Alphabisha would never abandon one in need. Thank you for your help. As you can see, things here in One Horse have gotten dire.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say so. You're the only one left, and your survival skills are second to none. You've made it this far, and quite frankly, maybe a good Demi. You want to lift and separate, but anyway, I'm sorry. It just your beautiful self, your survival skills, your brains hiding in a library. Oh.
Well, I was here because I wanted to read up on some of the town and see if I could figure out what was going on here in One Horse. I'm not actually from here. I'd heard about what was going on, and that's what we readers do for the king, as we go out and try and figure out what's happening. And it seems that a terrible necromancer has erected a tower here. And she kind of points over to the gigantic black tower that's just sticking up in the back of the town, and goes, really, well, I don't know how he did it. It must have just appeared here one day or something. But I think I figured out why. You see, the town of One Horse here, it was entirely built by one incredible horse.
That horse was amazing. If I could give it a lick, it would taste just like raisins.
This all checks out. Continue.
The people of the town honored the horse once it had finished its work. Well, they gave it as good of a life as it could, and then it passed away. They buried it underneath that statue. I think
Say no more! I fully understand what we need to do. Gibbous, let's go.
Where are we going?
We're gonna go dig up that horse and reanimate it. It will save the town.
No, I think it's already been dug up.
It's all. Oh, never mind.
That's the big hole.
Right.
And I think that's why the necromancer chose such a small town to go, because, well, never has there been a more powerful horse and an undead minion of that strength. What chaos could they wreak? If I had to guess, I would say they're up in the tower. And they point to the big, gigantic tower.
All right.
Are you telling me we're gonna have to kill a horse?
No, I'm telling you, you're going to have to put a horse back to rest and maybe kill a necromancer.
Alright.
The horse is already dead.
I would never hurt a horse.
That's a little... What? Okay.
If it makes you feel better, Waddle, it's no longer a horse.
Yeah. It's a Zorse. Zombie horse.
What? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying any attention. Let's go see the necromancer. I want to hear his side of the story. Maybe they just feel something different. I'm sorry, I assumed it was a dude necromancer. Is that true? Or do you have no idea?
I have no idea.
All right, so what you told us is everything we could already infer except for the horse part.
Yep.
All right,
But
sounds
you didn't
good.
know you didn't know the horse part.
That's very true.
Waddle, your lack of tact is second to none. It's actually very breathtaking what
are
I'm
you telling
hearing
me?
right now. I couldn't ever hope in my life to be in the presence of such a conversation. Truly, you are something.
I'm gonna go run into the horse. Wait, I got a question. It's a rules question, actually. I'm sorry, everyone else look away.
What is your rules question, Waddle?
So we have golden letters. We can apply them to ourselves. But
Yeah,
like,
you can only apply them to yourself.
Okay, so I can't go over to like a tree and make the tree animated.
No, but you could make a tree. You could have a tree.
Oh, okay. So if I have the golden letters, basically, so any like I am, I can, I have a, like
Yeah.
that can go through. Okay, excellent, cool.
But you can't mix black letters and gold letters, or can you?
You
No.
cannot. It's all of each.
And how long do black letter items or
You get them
abilities
for
last?
basically one roll.
Instantaneous.
For one roll? Okay.
All right. You know what? This would actually make a really great board game with like physical letters you could hand out, like an actual tabletop product. I would actually love that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
3D
I was
print
actually-
that. That's gonna be dope.
I was actually thinking about that too. Or I mean,
Alright,
you can also just buy a copy of Anagrams.
I
Or
don't know what that
Scrabble.
is.
Sounds
Um,
wacky.
Go! Whoa!
So what do you do?
I start running directly toward the tower.
All right, Jeremy, you start waddling directly toward the tower.
No, I'm running toward the tower.
Wait, you can do that?
If I spend 3 to do run. Oh wait,
Are you
I don't
gonna-
have an R. Never mind. Sorry.
I'm gonna get to.
one.
Okay. In that case, you waddle over towards the tower. You take a couple of giant steps over the tower. It's a very small town. And Link Boy, you get up at a medium pace, as has been the tradition of the day. And Link Boy is the Goldilocks of this party in a lot of ways.
Yep.
So you reach the tower. There's a door on the bottom. There's a couple of windows at the top. It's maybe like 2 or it's maybe like 5 feet above eye level for you. The top of the tower, Gibbous.
Okay. I knock on the
Where?
tower.
Where?
Yep. On the tower.
Okay, just.
Hello.
It's pretty solid. It seems to be made of just completely of obsidian. And as you,
That would be very unsolid.
it's hard though, right?
Nope. No, incredibly fragile.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. It's made of obsidian, like in Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit!
So you knock on the side of the tower. It does not budge.
We're gonna need a diamond pick.
Well, you'll have to look into that. Yeah, no one seems to respond. You can hear what sounds like just kind of coming from inside the top. There's also some like green light that seems to be pouring out of the top of the tower.
So, what now? What's the plan?
Well, I was hoping to save this for later, and I suppose now is the future, as opposed to when it was then. I'm going to ask you to do something a little wacky, Waddle. Are you up to the task?
I don't know. That's not really my style. Yes.
The classic Isaiah no.
Gibbous, I had something for you that I wanted to give you because I think that you would absolutely rock it well.
Okay.
It is called the hammock. And while it is certainly fit for you, I believe that it would act as an appropriate receptacle for our dear Waddle. And perhaps even with his vulture assisting, we could maybe use it as an us
Oh, my vulture
slingshot.
flew off.
So, Waddle, would you please climb into the hammock? And
Is that giant lingerie?
yes, that. It's gibbous-sized, so it should be appropriate. And we're simply going to stretch it back and launch you to the top through the opening.
That sounds safe to me. I'm in.
And your vulture, too.
Oh, he flew away.
Oh. Well, maybe he's up there. Go find him.
So are you using words to create hammock?
No, it's lingerie. He's got a banana.
Would that be like a lingerie check?
Oh!
I wanted Gibbous to have some lingerie, which is sized for a giant, and so the hammock would be, comfortable, maybe a little snug, kind of comfortable
Okay,
on Gibbous. But
roll.
Waddle could crawl in, and we use the lingerie as a slingshot up to the top.
No, I understand now. I understand what you're saying now. So you got the elastic waist. Roll +1 lingerie to fire accurately a giant lingerie catapult up to the top of the tower.
Right.
I think that's going to be a DC 4. But you got your +1 lingerie.
Or
Does
+1. Okay.
Does my giantness help it anyway?
Or does that just facilitate this
I
plan?
think that just kind of makes it possible.
Okay.
Yeah, you were the inspiration for this. All right. Here we go, Waddle. On 3, we say banana. 1, 2, 3. Banana. That's a 6.
Hey!
Whoa.
Waddle, describe your graceful flight through the air to the top of the tower.
Waddle gets pulled back like, all right, and just terrified, flailing and screaming as he goes flying up into the air.
And Gibbous, you hear a hilarious Doppler effect of Waddle coming towards and then past you as as he goes by you and then lands firmly on top of the tower, perfectly and unharmed.
Hey, it worked! I mean, I knew it would work.
Right. Alright, now what?
I mean, how far down is Gibbous from the top?
Gibbous was pretty close to the top window, but from the actual top of the tower, another maybe 30 feet. Like another kind of a 2 Gibbous tower.
All right. I'm gonna just go look inside. I'll see if I can unlock the door.
Okay.
Oh, actually, first, Vulture, are you up here? Vulture? I would like to look for my Vulture.
Roll Vulture plus 2. DC.
Oh.
You didn't say it yet. So DC 4.
Natural 4 plus 2.
Their Vulture is. Your Vulture says.
Vulture. How big are vultures? Vulture size. Vultures can be.
Vultures are like eagle-ish.
Vulture, go and grab Link Boy and bring him up.
Roll of DC 5 vulture plus 1.
I rolled a 5 plus 1 is 6.
Oh shit! And then screaming down from the top of the tower, the vulture down, and Link Boy, it's coming straight for you. What do you do, Link Boy?
I mean, I was knowledgeable of the vulture. I did ask for the. I'm quite alive, also. Oh, that vulture could have put in some work on the zombies. Anyway,
He could have.
I'm just gonna jump up with my tonguey arms and tonguey fingers and try and I don't know, get it to.
Yeah, absolutely. So you jump up and just kind of basically, I'm picturing almost wherever you are from the Titanic, just arms outstretched as you fly up towards the vulture, and it snares you and begins much more slowly than it came down, flying back up with the weight of Link Boy. Just as eventually it drops you also on top of the tower. Now Gibbous, you have the low ground for the first time, as the vulture has brought Link Boy up to the top beside you, Waddle.
All right. Now what do we do? Is there a door up here?
There's stairs.
Oh,
It's kind of like an open kind of thing.
yo, Gibbons, can you see through the window?
Let me look. I look through the window.
As you look through the window, you see green light and stairs spiraling upwards.
I see green light and stairs spiraling upwards. You know what? Ghost, why don't you face through the wall?
Oh, the ghost does this.
Go report on what's happening.
Don't you
All
think
right.
it was a bad idea to send a ghost to a necromancer?
Look, he's his own individual.
Roll ghost plus 2, because ghosts going through walls is basically their whole shtick.
Wait, what am I rolling?
DC... no, not that hard. DC 3, don't roll 1.
All right, 5 total.
Yeah, you're good. The ghost phases through the wall. Ooh, comes back a little while later. Ooh, and looks over at you, and begins kind of moving with its sheet-like ghost arms in different patterns as it tries to explain to you what it saw, but it seems to only be able to say, "Ooh." But as it moves its arms about, it makes a motion, and it kind of seems to draw out the shape of a person, and then does kind of like a sideway motion as if to imply magic, and then they kind of carve out the shape of a horse in the air, and then draw that horse being very big by throwing their arms out very wide. Something about someone's doing magic to a big horse.
Okay. Someone's doing magic to a big horse.
Didn't see that coming.
This might be the thing.
All right, I got a plan, Link Boy. You ready?
I'm always ready for you, Waddle. Always.
All right.
Shower me in your brilliance.
Let's sneak inside and ambush the
Come
necromancer.
on, shower me in your brilliance is so good.
Let us sneak inside, ambush the necromancer, and then throw him down the stairs where he will fall to his inevitable death.
That's crazy enough to work. Wacky even.
I don't see why you're so surprised. That seemed like a pretty obvious plan. Like, boy, are you all right?
Well, no, I can't be. And just everything that's happened, I'm reflecting back on the journey. We started out as you know, these These people lauded in the city. Then we lost everything along the way. We were nothing to no one. And now finally here we are at the top of the tower. I'm with you, Waddle, and together we're with Gibbous. And Gibbous is large enough to be plural. And so Gibbous is with us. It's so amazing. Oh, I'm lost in my lionization at the moment.
You know what? We've overcome a lot of adversity. You're right. I'm gonna go and sneak down there. You coming?
Yes, yeah, in fact, let me put my slippers on. They're wonderful, very soft things, padded, and they have these very cute little, like, bear claw raw things they're very fuzzy.
Well, those look like those might actually hurt if you claw someone in the back with those.
So you guys are gonna sneak down?
A Link Boy has some secrets to keep, my dear Waddle. And yeah, I'll put my slippers on and go down.
Link Boy, roll me a +1 lingerie. I think Waddle, roll me a...
But I'm waddling very slowly.
I think roll me a -1 Waddle?
How is it a -1?
Because this is a Waddle check, and I think that actually makes you less stealthy, because that's like the least stealthy way to move is like picking directly your thing up and putting it down.
You're absolutely correct. What's the DC?
DC.
Bitches rolled 6 before you said the DC. Okay,
it was a DC 3.
3. All right, 3 and I have a +1.
All right, that's a 2 total.
I rolled a 3, so I have a 4.
So you guys are kind of working your way down the stairs, and
the camera pans to the fuzzy bunny slipper. One soft paddle after another, and then blah 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 behind.
Link Boy, you kind of sneak ahead, and you kind of come into this chamber, and you see before you what looks like a terrible necromancer, with kind of like long hair that's draped over what looks like a dead horse, and they're kind of like, they have this kind of staff that they're holding above it that's wielding arcane power, and then they just bring it down and smash it into the horse, and all of a sudden the horse, which is kind of like, it's decaying in a lot of places, looks like it's been long dead, but the horse sort of begins to kind of animate and stand up, and dark green energy is kind of pouring from its eyes. The necromancer, I'll rule this one horse town. And you kind of step behind a big cabinet that looks like it has just a bunch of like glass vials and stuff. And then Waddle, you walk in, and he just kind of, the second you kind of walk into the frame, he goes, "Who's waddling there?" And they look around and just turn towards you.
Stay perfectly still. Necromancers cannot see things that do not move. Their sight relies completely upon movement.
Roll a wacky.
Okay, I'm waiting.
This is a DC 3 wacky +1.
Oh, I rolled a 5 + 1 is 6.
And the necromancer says, I can clearly see you there. You're just standing. I can hear you monologuing. And the necromancer seems distracted by this terrible plan at the moment. What are you doing outside the tower? You can hear the necromancer you hear the horse whinnies and the necromancer kind of like shouting at Waddle from inside Gibbous.
This is a terrible position that I chose.
I can't get in.
Why didn't I just freeze Skype?
I'm going to break some windows.
You want to like reach your hand up into the space? Your arm can probably fit. It's like a big spiral stairway that seems to be the whole interior of this tower. Might be able to reach your, if you break open the windows, you might be able to reach your arm up into that chamber.
Okay, I'll do that, but I'll do the hand walking thing with that suit from earlier.
Oh, excellent. Roll giant, and I'm gonna give you advantage because I want it to happen. Roll giant DC 4 +1 with advantage.
With advantage. Okay, that's 4, or that's 3, so that didn't work. Oh, no, it doesn't work.
No! All right. You kind of punch your hand in through the wall, and you begin moving your hand up, and you do the walking thing up the stairs. And as the hand kind of appears at the top of the stairs, you can see the clothes are just in absolute tatters. They did not survive anything near the inside. You assume that everything went according to plan. Give us.
Hey, it's me, Hank.
Is Kiwi just lying on the ground, arms stuffed through the door, like up the?
No, not on the ground. I'm just sort of standing
Like
there with
standing
my arm
like
like
a
this,
little
yeah.
bit crouched outside the tower, just shoving his arm up into the tower.
Okay, making sure.
It's definitely awkward, and you have no idea what you're doing in there. But you guys see the hand. The hand kind of appears, and then you just hear booming from outside of the tower. Hey, it's me, Hank. And the necromancer kind of looks over. You're Knights of Alphabisha, aren't you? Haha, fools. They should have brought the standard 3 instead of just you 2 idiots. I'll dispose of you quickly with the power of the one horse. And the horse kind of raises as he throws his hand up, and the horse seems to like charge around and brings rears back on its hind legs and makes a terrible cackling sound. You are in the Word Warrior's equivalent of initiative.
All right, how does that work? I forget.
It means you just describe things, and every time you do good, it gets better, and every time you do something bad, it gets worse.
I
Alright,
I'll put on more dramatic music for the occasion.
give the necromancer a gift.
Okay. What do you give the necromancer?
I hand him a box.
All right.
Open it. Here, this is for you.
You just kind of had one that you palmed in your hand, and it kind of drops down, and you send it out. And you hand him over the box. Roll a gift, and he begins to open it. Roll a gift plus.
Well, the gift is empty. And my hand approaches and says, the gift of friendship. And I try and give him a hug with my hand.
Roll a gift plus 1. This is going to be a DC. This is going to be a tough one. This is a DC.
Sometimes all we need is a hug.
This is a DC 5 gift. To just really just bring it home here.
I rolled a 6 plus 1, 7.
Oh my god. You reach over, and I imagine the thumb is the hand that's reaching around to hug. The finger that's reaching around to hug. And he looks up at you, and he kind of takes the gift box. And as he opens it, there's nothing in here, and then you say the gift of friendship. No one's ever asked me to be friends before. And he kind of leans in and starts to kind of hug the 2 fingers, then he pulls back. No! I'll rule this town. You can't woo me with your words. But he seems at least a little bit wooed by your words. He's disheveled. Who would like to go next?
Well, from outside, did it work? Because I can't see.
All right, I will build on this.
Your
And
ghost
I
is
will-
translating. You can hear the words inside, by the way.
Okay.
I will build on this by going forward and being like, yes, we have come here to be your friends. You can be our 3rd Knight of Alphabisha. And we can do that because we're super magical. And it'll be great, and everyone will love you, and you'll have lots of friends, and you'll be really cool. And I would like to, as I do all of this, just kind of like waddle around, and there to be like sparkles and things coming off of me, implying I'm more magical than I otherwise would be, as I would like to use whimsy.
Oh! Roll +2 whimsy.
Wow.
And this is going to be a +2 whimsy with a DC of. I think this is decreased by the success of your ally. I think this is only a DC 4.
+2 whimsy. 4 + 2 is 6. All right.
your whimsy kind of catches him off guard, and he goes, "What incredible magical power! He wields the forces so willy-nilly. He must have infinite power within. I could learn much." And he's becoming more and more convinced. The horse is starting to rage around, and as you're kind of whimsying about, the horse is starting to charge over towards you, Waddle. And it's doing so with an incredible intelligence behind its eyes. This is not your average horse.
Does it look like it's mad at me?
It looks like it's being controlled and just going on an undead magical rampage. But that's just the situation. Would you like to do something, Link Boy?
Yes, as I am, well, at least I believe that I'm undetected.
You are as of yet undetected.
Is there a way that I could get a black letter off of Waddle? Preferably an N.
I lack an N, unfortunately.
Oh, you did trance earlier. All right.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. Does Gibbous have an N?
I did iron, so I don't have the N either.
Actually, both of them used an N.
No. Ooh, and I used my N in turn. All right. Do we find? Are there letters in books and stuff? Like, would I be able to see letters in his notes or his grimoires or something?
Go ahead and just make me a D6. Like, this is just a perception check. Unless you have a thing that's good at makes you better at looking around, just roll me a DC 2 to take stock.
If I'm looking through books, a lot of people, they lick their thumbs as they go through to get traction to be able to go through pages more quickly.
DC 3. I'm sorry. DC 2 plus 1.
All right, DC 2 plus 1 lingulate.
Yeah.
All right. Plus 1 is 4.
All right.
Oh, I'm licking all my fingers.
You're looking around, and there aren't a ton of letters in here. You find over one area which has most of his supplies, and amongst the rubble there is an N, but you also see his grimoire is open, and it seems to have inside of it like the ritual for reviving this powerful horse that the page is open to currently as well. But you also you use this action, you pick up an N. But you can also see like here's how he's doing this book is there. And that's going to bring us back around to Waddle. What would you? I'm sorry, it's going to bring us back around to Gibbous. You're a hand in a robe.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I want to do something a little wacky. Anyone mind if I use some golden letters?
Oh, I was really. Which ones are you using?
What ones did you want?
I was looking at N, I, M, and E.
I was gonna use all of those.
Ah, fuck. All right. I had a good one in mind, but it's fine.
I need to. Alright, I spell and apply the adjective, which is not normally an adjective, but I'm going for it anyway, to myself. Anime.
Alright, that's way better than I was gonna do. I was just gonna have a mine.
You watch as the hand within the room, all of a sudden next to it, there are these like strange action lines that are standing around it, as it looks like Gibbous has become black and white, as well as weirdly drawn in this 3D space. The hand looks 2D and drawn as you're looking at it, even though you can tell that it's moving through the terrain. It's a very strange image that has been created. You are now anime.
And with that, I'd like to say to the necromancer, anything is possible through the power of friendship and family, and I want you to be part of my knockoff. What is it? That's the word, right? I'm using the right word.
Yeah,
there?
Nakama.
Yeah.
you say that you will protect him because you are friends, and like is the idea, right? You're
Yeah.
making the classic roll +2 anime because I mean that's the only thing that's in anime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be a DC.
Oh, right.
This
2
is a
successes on befriending
Yeah,
you so far.
you already are moving that direction, so I think this is just a DC 4 anime.
6 total.
This necromancer kind of leans down and his voice seems to have changed since you've appealed to him in the anime. I didn't believe in myself enough. I never thought I could have friends. But now that you've shown me the way, I think we can accomplish anything together. And he looks up at you, and he kind of just throws a hand and puts it up onto your thumb, which is acting as an arm here, and clasps you hand in hand and says, I was wrong to have created this horse monstrosity, but now I'm not even certain that I am able to control it. We'll stop it together, he says to you.
Together.
That's a good turn.
Of course, this location where we put tape on our hands in the past to show our friendship and it lights up.
It does do that. The necromancer seems to have now fully joined your side, but the horse is rampaging around. It was charging directly at you, Waddle. What do you want to do?
I would like to. How deadly does this horse look? Does it look like it's gonna just annihilate me if it hits me? It's a pretty. It's the one horse, right?
It's the one horse.
So this is gonna annihilate me if it hits me.
You're gonna probably go straight to 2 bad words applied to you instead of just the average one of something getting you.
All right. I would. Shit. This is a really tough one.
Waggle out of the way.
I could waggle out of the way. And we it seems like we've got the necromancer, right? We don't need him anymore.
No, the necromancer has been dealt with. Now you just have a terrifying horse.
All right, what I want to do is I want to use 4 of my last remaining alphabet, and I want to brace myself by a window, and at the last second I want to flop on the ground and trip the horse, so it falls out the window.
All right, you do this. The horse charges at you, and the horse. You can see there's an incredible intelligence in the horse's eyes. It's going to take all of your candy and wit to deceive this horse. I need you to make me a DC. This is going to be a DC 5 flop, but you have your full +2 flop.
God! No, 4!
The horse. Wait, you roll the 4?
Come at! I rolled a 2 + 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the horse.
Come at me, horse!
And you dive onto the ground, and as soon as you do, the horse. It sees in your eyes your deception and rears back and just stomps down upon you twice. You are now bruised and battered, or in shorter terms, behooved. 2 massive hoof prints appear on Waddle's back as he's been bruised pretty thoroughly, and the horse. Waddle's in a difficult situation. The horse is relentless. As we move next to Link Boy, what would you like to do?
What is the rule for black letters? Can I make 2 words, or would it be 1 word per action?
One at a time.
Okay.
If it's a compound word and it's not you couldn't make 2 completely unrelated words, but if it's something that's kind of always together, I would give it to you.
It would be always together.
Yeah, go for it. If you got the letters, you can. I'll let you do it.
All right. We have the power of friendship. We have a team together that needs to control this horse. There's this poor village that needs to be brought peace, and so there is only one thing that's coming to Link Boy's mind when it comes to a way to tame even an undead horse, if only to slow it down a little bit and allow all of us to work together. And that is by using the letters OPENSLEIGH on the one horse to make a one-horse open sleigh.
Hot damn.
Maddie, can you describe for me again the end game here? What happens when this happens?
The thing's just slowing down.
The shattered wood of the window frame and the staircase and the cabinetry kind of like swirl together, and they form into an open sleigh for us to ride in. And as it attaches to the one horse, and we can all sit in it, it'll either bring joy and merriment, or we can at least slow it down and bind it so that we can
roll me open sleigh +3. And I'm giving you a +3 because it was a rare pun where you're using the enemy word against them by the fact that they're a one horse. And this is going to be a DC 5 move to get around, but you have a +3.
DC 5 +3. I'm not fudging this roll. It's going to be what it is. I've been truthful.
The tension.
Waddle, give me your energy.
I got
this. Give me your energy.
Can I give him my energy, Pete?
Roll a waddle or a waggle.
No. I was going to use my letters to create a jug and play the jug to inspire him.
Okay, then in that case, roll a +2 jug.
Yes. 4.
I forgot to say though, DC.
All right.
DC 4.
7.
You're inspired. You have another +1. It's now a DC 5 with a +4.
Ooh, all right, hold on, let me see. Maybe I can do
You
something.
can make it absolute, although you will decrease it if you fail. Keep in mind.
Okay, well.
But it's down to a 1.
I like this. Good ad-lib rules we're coming up with.
Yep. All right.
I only have
what do I got?
6 letters left of my alphabet, by the way.
Wow, you're doing a good job of using things.
I've been trying. Whimsy was a really helpful one.
What's the play? You got to decide quick. The moment's passing.
I'm looking at my
We're moving at
letters.
bullet time right now, but time is still passing.
Oh, wait a minute.
Also, keep in mind you have no idea what's happening in this room other than by sound.
Yep. I will give him a gift. The
All
gift of Jingle Bell Holiday Cheer.
There we go.
Roll a DC
That's
4
what gifts
gift.
are all about.
Roll a DC 4 gift. +1. I think the gift is tempered by you not being able to know what's going on in here.
Nope.
All right, we're back down to the flat roll that you were making. DC 5 +3. What's the roll?
DC 5 +3.
What's the roll,
Here
boy?
we go. Ah! I don't want to roll, but I have to roll. Ah! That's a 2. Oh, it's a 5.
You create the open sleigh. The wood whips around and begins to kind of form about the space, and you think that you're going to be in control of our dear one horse. As it kind of tethers up to the one horse, you all kind of like hop in, your hands in it as well, but the one horse bucks and it slams against the wall. You are now unfortunately also bruised pretty badly, Link Boy, as the horse kind of just bucks the open sleigh and slams it, and it shatters with you kind of inside riding it.
Oh, what a powerful beast. I have to admire that, at least.
The necromancer kind of calls out, "There was a ritual that I used to summon him previously. We can work together to undo the ritual. There were multiple components. One of them was my blood." And he kind of holds it up his hand. It was a different time for me. I've learned a lot since then. One of them was...
As we go into a flashback.
Yeah, we cut back into a flashback. And
5 minutes earlier.
And
Yes.
It's him just kind of standing over, and there's a lot of like, it's like raining for some reason, even though it wasn't raining 5 minutes ago, and he looks very sad. And you just kind of hear his inner monologue as he's as he's kind of like working on this horse. In order to create the most powerful familiar, I must use, and he cuts his hand, my blood. I must have sustenance, and he holds up an apple in his hand and puts it onto the, and he kind of puts it onto the thing, and darkness, and he goes over and turns off all the torches. These are the 3 components that were used to summon this horse that I will now attempt. We cut back to reality. You guys know what... You guys know how this horse was created. Undoing these things, taking away the apple, and maybe healing his wound, and making it light might defeat the horse. Or you could just kill it some other way.
Different idea! Vulture, come to me!
Roll.
Vulture?
Your Vulture's already with you.
Oh, excellent. Vulture, attack! We're gonna beat this dead horse!
There it is. There it is,
I'd like
folks.
to punch the horse. Actually, I'd like to waggle aggressively and bludgeon it with my waggling body.
Don't you want just the
Roll,
vulture to eat it?
Yeah, I mean, the vulture is just kind
roll a
of flying
DC4.
around.
Roll a DC4 waggle +1.
That's a 4 + 1 is 5.
Oh yeah, you waggle, and in a battle that's been pretty downhill since this horse has started rampaging around, Waddle just starts flipping around like a fish out of water and slams into the side of the horse and gets knocked against the wall. The horse takes some damage.
The horse is now also bludgeoned, right?
Yeah, it's been waggled.
Oh, okay, right.
Come on, Jeremy. There's rules to this game.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Next in initiative, I think, is you, Gibbous. What do you want to do, Gibbous?
All right, I'm gonna harness the power of anime again here.
I mean, you have that forever. You're always
I
going to
know, but I said, oh, my friends are fighting this thing alone in there, except for my hand. I have to do something. Oh, I'll need to take it out in one hit and just start charging up my fist. Through the power of friendship, I will take down this horse. I'm gonna try and punch. Well, okay, charging my fist to eventually punch through the building and punch the horse hard enough to kill it.
roll anime +2
Yep.
DC 7.
For
You need to one-shot this horse right now. You do need the maximum roll.
well,
But I
no.
think it is
This
possible.
turn isn't to one-shot the horse. This turn is to gather the energy.
Oh, you're
To
gathering
charge
energy.
up, yeah.
You're-
The power of friendship and the gift of sweet release for this horse.
All right. You spend your turn charging, but while you're charging up your powerful strike, well, actually roll anime to charge, and of course this is a +2 anime move, and this is to charge as an anime boy. It's going to be, of course, a DC4. I'm sorry, DC3.
Okay.
So you need
I
to
got
bump-
6 total. 6 total.
You're charging up your fist. It's getting closer to being ready to deliver a death blow punch. Meanwhile, while you pass the turn, the horse is bearing down once more. It's whipped around and is turning towards you now, Gibbous. It charges towards you. I'm sorry, I meant to say Link Boy. Charges towards you, Link Boy. What do you wish to do?
I need to give Gibbous time. He tried to lend me his energy, and I tried to channel his energy, and it was so pure and magnificent that I failed to do so. So instead, I'm going to laud Gibbous with my own energy as best as I can. And what I would like to do, even if it means leading the way by taking the hit, I want to stand up, kind of bloodied, get the dust and debris off, kind of sniffle, and in my beautiful, magnificent lingerie, I want to bedazzle this horse. And as I do so, I wish to use the letters F-A-B as I present myself. I want to be Fab.
And Link Boy, you are Fab in this moment as you choose to. The horse is kind of looking about a little bit, and it chooses to move now in your direction. The horse will continue to pursue you, giving your ally Gibbous more time to charge. That is an absolute with this move. However, roll your Fab to see if you are able to avoid taking any more significant damage. You're already hurt from that open sleigh. Roll Fab, DC 4 plus 2.
DC 4 plus 2. I rolled a 2. Oh no!
Oh.
You, for a brief moment, you look incredibly beautiful. There, I can't remember the word. That's your tongue word.
Lingulate.
Lingulated, standing there with your Fab lingerie as the horse charges forward. You draw its attention for a moment, but as the hoof connects, you take your behoove. In addition to being smashed, you are dying at the moment. You fall unconscious in a moment.
Pete, as this happens, it's my turn again, right?
Yes, that's right.
I will grab the necromancer and run over to stand next to Link Boy and say, "Don't worry, Link Boy! With the power of all of our friendship, everything will be..." And I will take out, although I have no more vowels, a black letter. You're gonna be K!
That's not... You can't do this. But of course you can do this. Roll K. DC 5. There's no consequences if you fail. But this is going to be a DC 5K plus 2.
5 plus 2 is 7.
And Link Boy, you kind of, your eyes flit a little bit, and you're okay. You're okay.
Waddle, you beautiful, beautiful, wacky thing, you. Oh.
And
I believe it's Gibbous.
I believe the turn is now on to Gibbous. Do you want to continue charging, or do you want to execute your punch?
Well, I'm gonna charge. I'm still charge. Well, I've got. I gotta give my. No. I'm gonna. We're not going that anime. We're not going DBZ.
Charging our anime here.
I think I'm almost done charging, and of course I have to yell, "I'll never forgive you for what you did to Link Boy," and then I will apply the letters blast to my punch.
Shit.
And I'm gonna try and take this horse out while screaming, of course.
Just screaming, right?
No, give giant horse killing punch.
All right, your blast is going to increase your DC or decrease your DC. You have a +2 anime. The blast is going to knock your DC down from what it was a 6 to a 4. Would any of you like to help?
Well, didn't this charge help at all?
Was charged or knocked it from a 7 to a 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How am I gonna help? I know how it can help. My vulture will harry the horse to distract it.
Horses hate vultures. This is a thing that is known. Go ahead.
He's an undead horse, and it's a vulture.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? +2 vulture. You got. That's absolutely true. Go ahead and roll me a DC 3 vulture to eat the dead horse, because that's what vultures do. +2 vulture.
I rolled a 2 plus 2 is 4.
You barely succeed. The vulture flies over.
The exact same in this game.
And that's very much true. The vulture flies over and begins clawing at the horse. Horse whinnies backwards. It's now a DC 3 with a +2. You need to not roll a 1 on your ultimate finishing punch. But you could, if you want to try, Link Boy, lower the DC to an automatic success.
Now that I'm K, I arise from the dust and debris.
Jesus.
regarding my fine lingerie is now ripped and ruined. I'm gonna have to go shopping again after this. And
Wait, your
my
lingerie is
tip
all
will
ripped?
need more glow to guide, to act as a beacon, a signal, so that my friend cannot miss this shot. I wish to glow in a way that no Link Boy has ever glowed before.
Link Boy, +2 Link Boy. DC 3.
Oh shit, the guided strike!
Don't roll a 1. I rolled a 2!
That's a success. Making it a DC 1. I'm sorry, a DC 2 blast.
All right. Here we go.
With a +2.
Oh my god, I rolled a 6, so 8.
Would you care to describe this final moment as you rear back for your final punch?
My fist is glowing, of course.
Of course,
and,
with Link
and
Boy's
it's just, you know, I mean, like, the crazy anime movements as everything's going, the scenery's going by behind me, as it just, fist goes straight through the tower, and just this huge energy blast comes out the other side. Totally eliminating the horse.
And as
For my friends!
and the necromancer calls out, "Together!" And the horse gets blasted through the tower. It flies out with an incredible whinny and gets thrown forward and beyond. The clouds part. Night turns to sudden day with the impact and the blast, and the horse becomes merely a ding on the horizon.
Wow, I guess it's a no-horse town now!
Wow!
Cue
Oh,
credits!
get fooled again!
And
It just cuts right to credits. Perfect.
And yeah, I mean, with that, you guys have beaten the one-horse town. You've defeated the one horse, and you guys won. You were brave knights of Alphabetia. Congratulations to all of you for completing your quest. As you return back down to the town, the necromancer animates all of the villagers back to real life. You're not sure how he pulled that one off, but he does. And the town cheers and celebrates your success in a classic End of Word Warriors party.
Crowley, did you say "Don't Get Fooled Again" is the title track from
Well,
the credits?
It won't get fooled, yeah, but yeah.
Oh my god.
You guys won! Good work. What is it? Can you tell me the epilogue? Give me an epilogue on each of your characters.
Oh, I run through the big hole in the tower and leap to my death. Immediately.
Waddle almost immediately dies. Link Boy?
I'm gonna have to return back. I'm friends with the necromancer, and frankly, I think that he can do better outside of black. I'm gonna have to get him something like lime green. You know, maybe like a nice bikini cut to enjoy his new life.
He seems to have gotten over his anime phase, and he's going, "Do you really think that green's my color, or?"
Yes, of course it is. It's innate. Did you see the magic you wield? This is simply an expression of yourself. Own it.
Well, if that's what you think, maybe I'll give it a try. And he looks brightly into the future. As we cut now to Gibbous. Gibbous, your epilogue.
Gibbous stands watch, relaxed watch over this world as a knight of Alphabetia, looking out over a grateful universe, waiting for the next threat.
And with that, our adventure now comes to a close. Somehow this adventure was more ridiculous than the first time that we played this game. And I thought that we'd hit
amazing.
thresholds
Wow,
there.
Pete, you gave me the word anime.
I mean, why wouldn't I have?
No, I mean, you gave me the letters to create the word anime.
I didn't know I was doing that. Thank you all. I don't when I was doing the golden letters, I don't think about what it could be. As a matter of fact, I decidedly don't. At one point I thought, what is this spell? And then I thought, So that was an absolute blast, you guys. Thank you for playing with me. I'm really glad that I've gotten 2 chances now to play this game, because I kind of in my heart thought when I made it, like, it might never get played, but I'm so glad that we've gotten to play it. It's been so much fun.
I'm still of the opinion we should make this like a semi-regular thing for this channel.
Just every once in a while,
I
Word
love
Warriors.
this.
Yeah, it's just it's such delightful chaos.
This is my kind of fucking game.
Jeremy, what do we got going on in D&D time?
What do we got going on in D&D time, folks? Well, for those who are new to the channel, welcome Acid Rains Burns, by the way. It's lovely
welcome.
to see you. Also, very educational. Acid Rain does burn. We got a lot of stuff going on here on the channel. Next Friday is Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. It's our kind of signature show here on the channel, where Pete, that's him, and Jeremy, that's me, run one-shot Dungeons & Dragons adventures featuring our community, our viewers. This Friday coming up is actually a very peculiar night, different than usual. We're running 2 Legend tier adventures on Friday, which Legend tier, there's a whole bunch to learn if you don't know about that, but you can check our website, dndtime.stream, you can find a link below and all that stuff, and learn what the hell Legend tier means, but it's kind of a big deal. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So that, on Sunday, I don't know, we're gonna do something? I'm not sure what exactly it is. We'll figure it out though. I think I might just, next Sunday, take a session to I don't know if Pete's gonna be around, because I think Pete's out of town.
Yes, I'm gonna be out of town for a little while, starting from next Sunday.
Yeah, so that might be, I sit down and talk a little bit about Eberron from Rise Last or whatever. I'm not super familiar with Eberron as a whole, but I can talk about some of the stuff in the book, like the race options and the Artificer class particularly. Might be a fun kind of deep dive or what have you. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Pay attention on our Discord. You can find a link below or in the chat, Timing Spectator. And we post our schedule there every Monday. So yeah, that's all we got. We're winding down for the end of the year.
Yeah,
our last
absolutely.
explosive.
Maddie, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, I will be having the normal roleplay Tuesday, where we continue the adventure that, it started in our workshop, the setting and NPCs and such. And for the past year and a half-ish, we've been having an ongoing campaign with members of the community, and that's our Tuesday. Wednesday through Saturday is the rest of the workshop week, and this is going to be a workshop exploring Unearthed Arcana, where on Friday I'll be having a guest on, and he and I are going to be talking about the I guess you could say the proposed changes, the Unearthed Arcana that talked about the class features. Ranger, Barbarian, cantrips on things, and paladins and whatever.
Yeah, those are super interesting.
So we're going to be doing an Unearthed Arcana delve for the workshop this week, the Wednesday through Saturday content, with Friday focusing on you all had an excellent presentation on it, pretty much the day after it came out, and so hopefully we'll be able to dig into it, and we'll see where our ideas line up.
Well, Rad, make sure everyone goes over and hops over to Twitch TV/MaddieMords, and joins Maddie for that. I certainly want to hear your thoughts on that as well, because those Unearthed Arcana class features are just so big. I've still read through them a couple more times since we've talked about it, and I know there's just so much there that I still don't feel like I've expressed myself even enough about.
Greater context, right?
Yeah, it's just so much there. Crowley, got anything you want to shout out?
Fritz Franks in Wakefield.
Check out Fritz Franks. They make the best hot dogs. It's true.
Yeah, get a Schnurble. Say hi to James.
Our dear friend James works there. He makes the best hot dog you'll ever eat. It's in Massachusetts. Look up Fritz Franks.
Winter weather. Yeah, that's it.
All right. And then, in that case, that's going to wrap us up for Word Warriors for the evening. I'm Pete. Thank you all very much for watching.
Thanks, guys. We love
Thank you.
Bye.
Pete.
He's
There
Pete.
it is. I'm Pete.
All right, goodbye.